Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Hope you're having a great weekend. Today's podcast, I had my good friend, Brianna Meller. She is a certified personal trainer and nutritionist. Really enjoyed talking to her, and I hope you pick up some good stuff. I know I did. So, let's go. I did want to know about... do you know, like DEXA scans?
Yeah, those are the gold standard.
Do you know where to get them?
I think you have to like follow the truck around.
There's a
like a
truck?
DEXA truck, because it's underwater weighing, isn't it? DEXA?
Is it?
Double check that. I thought it was.
I don't know.
DEXA scan.
Because I was looking it up because I want to get my proper body fat. I don't really care to know my bone density and all that other stuff.
It's good to know.
Because well, there's 2 competitions that I'm doing. Well, it's not like, it's just online competitions.
It's an X-ray
Okay.
detector inside the scanning arm.
Have you ever done one?
I haven't, no.
I feel like it'd be good to get one done so I can know.
Just so you have like a general idea.
I have it's a company called Withings, but I think they got bought out by Nokia. I have a scale, so it connects to my phone. It was saying that I'm 28%
Those are usually
body
pretty
fat.
off.
I was like,
yeah, I bought
looked
one
up
of those,
images.
like the Vanity Planet or something, and it'll change your body fat percent if you just change whether or not you're active. So like, how accurate can that be?
right, yeah. I was like, there's no way I'm 28%.
And that like made me mad too. Like, why did I spend money on that?
Right, but I like it because the weight part is accurate.
Yeah.
The BMI,
I already
no.
had a scale though, but I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna tell me my body fat, and I was like,
Right. I turned all of it off. Like, you're not going to tell me what my body fat is. Like, I think it's, let's see here. By the way,
you get a better gauge of just taking
huh?
pictures and seeing. You get a better gauge of just taking pictures and your weight, and then you can see if you're
You're like,
if
okay,
you're
this
getting
is
more defined and your weight's staying the same. Then obviously your body fat's going down and your muscles going
right.
up.
And that's another thing that I always forget. I'm like, I think right now, I weighed in this morning at 197. So I fluctuate, like this morning 197. Tomorrow I might be 203.
Yeah.
It sucks, but
Well,
that's
do
a
you
lot
eat
of water.
the same? Like, do you track your food? Do you eat the same thing every
So that's
day?
what I haven't been doing, and I just started.
Do you have a tracker?
I'll get to it in a second. I don't really do many contests or anything. The one I did last year, you know who Corey Gregory is?
I've heard that name.
Max Effort Muscle.
Okay.
He used to be co-owner of Muscle Farm.
Okay, I've heard of Muscle Farm for sure.
You probably, if you
I
saw
think
him,
24
you'd probably
like
be
sold
like,
a bunch of Muscle Farm stuff.
oh
supplements.
yeah, everywhere Walgreens.
Yeah.
So there's an ab contest. It's pretty much just overall upper body, but mainly like just shredded abs. And then yesterday I signed up for Steve Cook's 20 for 20.
Oh yeah.
Just because I was like, this seems interesting, but mainly for his app. So this is, and I was going to bring this up regardless because I wanted to see your input. This is what, for my height, I'm 5'10". Right now I'm 197. And I'm trying to get down to like 190, at least 185, the lowest.
Okay. We'll be pretty
And this is what they
shredded at
have
that
me
point, I would think.
doing. Yeah, you can.
So this is for your whole day?
Yeah, and I've been doing something called anabolic fasting, which is pretty much like intermittent to an extent. But I only eat 2 meals a day, and then I have, if I have a snack, it's like nuts or something.
Yeah, that's what kind of.
And then
I
like
do.
you kind of live off, you do cheat meals. Like
I don't actually really do that many cheat meals.
But
you
every
do cheat
weekend,
meals?
maybe like one weekend it'll be Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, or maybe just Friday night. Depending on how you feel. Like tonight, last night I had a couple beer, which is weird. Why I woke up. Well, actually, it's not too weird because doesn't alcohol dehydrate you, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the nights I've drinking a couple beers or more, and maybe some vodka, I've woken up the lightest.
Right, because you're dehydrated
So
and you look shredded.
So that's what
a
I need.
little bit, and then
Actually,
until the next day when you're like puffy looking.
I was watching it was either YouTube or Netflix or something. It was one of those documentaries on.
These are good macro percentages.
Are they good?
The percentages
It's
are
legit?
good. It looks good, and we are trying to lose fat.
Yeah, see, the thing is, I don't want to get. Naturally, I'll get skinnier by just the body fat dropping. but I'm still also trying to get
gain muscle.
yeah.
This
So
looks
is that
good.
like something like
at least
legit to an
macronutrient
extent?
wise, it looks good. Like that's like the breakdown I would probably give to you.
Can I ditch one of those meals and like add something else to a different? Because going from eating only 2 legit meals
This is
a day.
like really boring.
Well, see, I don't eat. I eat pretty boring during the week, anyways.
Do you do the beef every single day?
I haven't started that yet.
Oh, okay. Is
So
it
I'm gonna
supposed to be
start that
every
on
single
Monday.
day, or is it
They have me starting it on
fluctuate?
Monday to start on a fresh week.
Yeah. But do the foods
but
change every day?
I can't. That is not our cat.
Oh.
We have a cat.
It's a stray.
Dang, yeah. I don't know if
Do you wanna be
ours
my
is
cat?
a girl. I don't know if that looked like a girl.
She's cute.
Maybe my cat's batting for the other team, which is cool by me. What I've been doing is I've just been on a huge egg kick in the morning after my workouts.
Well, the cholesterol in eggs is really good for muscle building.
Is it? Mm-hmm. See, I didn't know.
Yeah.
See, this is why, I mean,
And you know that they took off because cholesterol, they used to say limit your cholesterol intake to 300 milligrams per
Yeah.
day. They ditched that, and that's only if you actually like have like high cholesterol and cholesterol issues.
Okay.
But eating cholesterol doesn't raise your cholesterol. Your body produces cholesterol.
Yeah.
So,
it's if you have a problem
If you have a
already
problem.
with, like, that's genetics though, right?
yeah,
to an
or just
extent,
not taking care of yourself for a
That's true.
long period
like if
of
you're
time.
eating like shit and you
But if
get
you're
bad
if you're
cholesterol,
healthy,
and then you're like eating,
and it's not from the cholesterol, it's from eating lots of saturated fats and not working out and being very sedentary, eating a lot of processed foods. But if you eat a lot of cholesterol, if you're healthy and you eat a lot of cholesterol, it's not going to hurt you as long as you don't have any underlying issues. But they completely ditched that because that used to be like in the dietary guidelines is stay under 300
right?
milligrams
Yeah,
of
eggs got
cholesterol
a
per day,
bad
and that
rep
just
for a
got
while because of the cholesterol. And
yeah.
Stuff. But
If
go ahead.
anything, I would say the quality of the eggs. So make sure it's
Yeah, I mean,
pasture raised, organic, because
yeah.
otherwise, if you like see the living conditions of the chickens, like there's no way they could be healthy. Like if you put a human
exactly
in a
yeah.
cage and you're not letting them, you're giving them like just corn and nothing else, they're not going to be healthy. It's going
Right,
to change their
yeah.
chemistry. So of course, the animals we eat.
Going
gonna
off the
change
egg
their
thing, so
chemistry.
usually this little cat. Go away.
She's so cute.
You're so cute, but also
Look at those eyes.
I don't know you. Yeah, you.
Let's be
Yeah.
your friend.
After my workout, I'll come home and kitty cat. There ain't no food for you here.
Oh, hi, sweetie.
No.
She's scared. He's like that.
So I'll come back from my workout and I'll have like 3 to 4 eggs and like some bacon or some sort of other fat or something. So it's almost borderline like keto without being keto. Because
Yeah.
later for dinner, I'll have something that might have.
Do you feel good
Carbs.
with that? With bacon?
I love
bacon.
it.
Is it good quality bacon?
Well, the ones I had yesterday wasn't, but I didn't buy it. I'll get the one where it's like you'll get what's the most basic, like Oscar Mayer, which is the most basic, right? Which is crap. Still tastes great, but like
Tastes
you
great.
you get like the one pack for like $7 and it has like 20 pieces or something. I get the one that costs the same amount, but it has like 7 pieces and it's
Okay,
like
so it's better
thicker and
quality.
you look at it and you're like,
Is it organic and pasture
I don't know. I'd have to
raised?
look. I know I don't know. I'd have to look. But that's what I would eat. And then I would a protein shake or something like that. And then I wouldn't eat till 6:30. Maybe a protein
And
shake.
that's all you have for the whole day.
And then I'll come home and I'll either have like an apple or banana with peanut butter.
This is after your workout.
So, no, this is so like the eggs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'll have after my
your
workout.
Okay.
And then with a protein shake or something. And then maybe nuts or something if I'm like
Hungry.
hungry. And then at work, my lunch is at 6. So 6:20, I'll eat again, which it's kind of whatever. I try and get some healthy, good
Yeah.
protein with some sort of
I think the
carb or
biggest thing,
veggies.
if you're trying to stay like be lean and put on
Yeah,
muscle, is it
that's
when you're
the
getting enough protein, you're getting enough calories, and
Yeah.
it's clean food.
That's what
'cause-
I mean. I always eat pretty clean. I've been at this place. I'm working at Bay Photo over in Scotts Valley, I believe.
Yeah, you're totally.
And
right
I
about
think
that.
so. That started 2.5, maybe 3 months ago, and only once did I get like a burger from like a fast food place. But
Yeah.
it was the Burger King. It was the what Impossible
The
Burger?
Beyond Burger? Is it
Beyond,
or is
no,
Burger
Impossible.
King that has a different?
I think. Yeah, Beyond. I can't do
There's
the
like
Beyond ones.
there's Impossible. Really, I haven't tried any of them.
I can't do it.
You don't
The
like it?
Impossible one just tastes great. I tried.
You know, I think I'm gonna
buying
get a
them.
burger from the counter tonight. Now that you mentioned it, sounds so good.
I'm making I was telling my mom I'm gonna make. Well, obviously it's homemade because I'm making it, but
Just better usually.
double, in and out style. Like I'm gonna make.
Oh my
the
gosh, that
was
sounds
it,
so
Is
good.
it secret or special
Their
sauce?
secret sauce.
Is it secret?
How
or
do they
special?
make that? Is that just ketchup and ranch or something like that? It's like
ketchup.
not that complicated.
I'm gonna try and remember. I literally
Did you
looked
find
up.
it?
Yeah, it's so you type in.
Secret sauce.
Literally, I typed in double recipe,
You
and it
found
was like just lists of how to make it. And it's mayo, ketchup, mustard,
Mayo.
relish, vinegar, salt, sugar. I think that's it. Onion.
So
an
sugar
onion.
is one too. If you want to lose fat, you don't want to be intaking sugar.
Well,
'cause
yeah,
it's gonna
I
spike
don't-
your insulin.
So that's the thing. I don't go crazy on sugar. The only times
It
I
adds
really
up,
eat,
though.
the only time I really eat sugar, like candy, like I'm not gonna forever not eat sugar
Right,
because
just when
it's
you have a goal.
natural things. But on heavy days, I'll bring like some sweet tarts or something like I forget which type of sugar that is. Is it
Sweet tarts?
which is like a better sugar? Is it the certain candies have a different kind of sugar?
Yeah, some of them have
I
like
don't know.
sugar. Some of them have corn syrup. Some of them have because there's sucrose,
I think-
dextrose. But the bottom line is if you're processing it, your body's going to handle differently. Like sugar and fruits is going to be handled differently than added sugar. Your body
Yeah.
can tell. It's so smart.
I don't know. Do you know who Jim Stepani is?
Yeah.
He's like the super shredded
Mm-hmm.
tattooed dude. He owns the company Jim.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sometimes I see cars that I'm like, what the hell fuck you do?
I get very defensive of the space in front of my house.
Right? Yeah, it's like
Don't
he's an
pull your
advocate
tire in.
on sometimes taking some sugar.
Yeah. Well, so he's at a
After
point where he's
or
already
after.
super shredded. So if once you're there, you can do that. But when
Yeah.
you're trying to cut fat, it's gonna really slow you
That makes
down from
sense.
getting to that point. Because when you have sugar, it spikes your insulin.
Yeah.
When your insulin is spiked, your body's not gonna burn fat.
Interesting.
I would try for like a month, just don't have any added sugar. So like fruit's okay, but don't have any added sugar. And if you're gonna have fruit, make sure that you also have like protein with it, and just see what happens.
Added sugar as in like
So like sweet tarts.
Well, okay, I
or
don't do that
adding
often.
sugar
That's like if
to-
I'm gonna go heavy on something, but I don't.
Yeah, but even
I
try going
changed
heavy
it.
without that. You should be able to if you're getting enough carbs in
No,
your
I
diet.
can.
You should be able
Just
to.
sometimes like, you know, it's obviously not the same as I know the brand Nose Torque. What is it? Smelling salts. I've never tried it, but it's kind of like a different version of.
Like a little boost.
It's like a little, you know, you get the sugar and your body's like,
yeah.
well, to an extent, you know
Yeah.
more than I do. I don't know shit about, which is another reason why.
It's because
I'm
you're getting
stoked to
that
talk
blood
about it.
sugar.
Yeah.
spike.
So it's like you get a
giving
little boost. So I think 3 months since I've been home from my tour, and I think I deadlifted once in those 3 months.
Okay.
And it was light, just more rep. And I was like, screw it, I'm going to go heavy. And I hadn't done 405 and I can't tell you the last time I did 405. And I had Swedish fish.
Mm-hmm. It's all sugar.
Oh yeah, hit it 405. It's on my Instagram. And one of my friends commented, he's like, dude, put another plate on here.
So how much did you have of the
Like,
Swedish fish?
it was one of those like pocket size. So there
Yeah.
was like, I think there was like 3 or 4 little individual ones.
So it wasn't a lot. It
No,
was just
it
like
wasn't-
a quick little boost.
it
that you
wasn't like I'm
probably
eating
used
an
all of
entire
it
bag.
in
And-
your lift.
Yeah, even when I get like sweet tarts, I think I want to say like the serving size is like maybe anywhere from like 3 to 4. I'll take 2, 3, or like the serving size. I'm not taking the roll
Right.
and like eating the entire thing.
Right.
Like, no. But I don't know.
Just try. I mean, it would be. I have always had a hard time getting lean when I had added sugar. Like if you just completely eliminate it and you want to lift heavy and you know you're going to lift heavy, just eat more like complex carbs a day before or more fruit in the morning. And that'll give you enough energy to do those heavy lifts, but it'll keep your insulin levels level so that you
Okay.
keep burning fat.
Because I work out on empty stomach.
Okay. So then the night before.
So well, that's the thing. So going off of the anabolic fasting, which Corey
is
Gregory,
good, and I'm a
he's the one that
I'm a huge advocate.
he
of that.
took intermittent fasting and something else, and he kind of combined them together.
So what's your window of not eating?
I don't really go too strict. It's pretty much while I'm sleeping.
Okay.
So whatever, which is not. I mean,
I get home.
I get home. I get off work around 10:30ish, and then it takes me a half an hour to get over the hill back home.
Right.
I'm going to sleep around 12:31. Last night, whatever. It was
Friday.
Friday. Turn up. Yeah.
Live your life.
So I'm only asleep for maybe 5.5 hours.
Okay.
About. And it's most of the week I'm waking up at like 2-3 in the morning, like honestly, like ready to go.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
crazy.
weird because and then obviously if you go back to sleep, you kind of you don't get that full REM sleep.
Right.
So you're like, fuck, I should have just gone at like 3 in the morning, but it messed me up. But I think that's the only time I don't eat. And then between my first meal and my second meal, I don't eat. Just a snack or something. But it's just basically protein. I mean, he recommends having like veggies and stuff.
Definitely.
I kind of just haven't because
You're not getting your veggies in?
To an extent, maybe more in my dinner. Or sometimes I'll throw like spinach with like an omelet or something, but I'm not going crazy. Like
you'll feel an energy boost for sure with veggies.
I've been playing with it a little bit. So now I'm excited to try this new thing from the
Steve
fitness
Cook.
culture. Yeah, Steve Cook's thing, because it has different things that I don't normally
eat
every day.
Yeah.
Tuna. I eat a lot of tuna, eggs, steak. Not a lot of fish, just because I don't know. I like it, but I don't want to eat it all the time.
It's not easy to prepare fish and make it.
Yeah.
Like you have to do fish right, or it doesn't taste good.
Yeah, my buddy.
And it doesn't last.
He's with me not all the time, but the only other person I work out with, my buddy Jason. Him and I. Yeah. Well, I know when I'm in the gym and you're in the gym,
we're very zoned. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the last time I made fish was with him, and that was like maybe a year ago. And then the last time I had it by myself was on this last tour, and I paid a lot of money for it because I was East Coast. I was like, all right, you need some fish.
Yeah. Was it good? Good fish.
It was the best salmon I've ever had.
Where were you on the East Coast?
I was in Maine.
Okay.
And I wanted lobster,
Yeah.
and they were out of the lobster, and I was
Rude.
like, what? And they had the salmon, Faroe Island salmon. If you ever see a Faroe Island salmon on like a menu,
I can't
get
eat
it.
salmon.
You can't?
It makes me throw up every time, which is
Really?
not fair because it's so good for you. The omega-3s.
Like violently
I have all
throw
my
up?
clients eat salmon, and I'm like, yeah, like all night.
Like, all night. I was like, if it's just like once.
No, it's like
No,
like,
that's
risk
right.
it.
And you're like,
just
take once? All right, cool. Damn.
Yeah, no, all night.
What else can you not eat?
That's like the only thing. Salmon. Yeah, salmon. Isn't that weird?
Was it always like that? Or did you like over
As
the
a
years
kid,
like
I had
randomly?
it, and then one day my family and I were in Leavenworth. Yeah, and we had like a little piece of smoked salmon. All of us had it, and then I got sick like all night. It was the tiniest little piece of salmon, and I thought maybe like a few years later, I thought, well, maybe it's a fluke thing. And then I got salmon at BJ's where I worked, and it made me sick again all night.
That sucks.
That's super annoying.
Let's see here. I'm just turning this up a little bit. Cool.
But back to the veggies. I'm not a huge, like, I've never enjoyed veggies. I don't really know anyone who's like, oh my God, I just like can't wait to eat a bowl of broccoli. Like, it's kind of something that you eat for
my dad
health.
hates broccoli. I like it a lot.
Like, you're
love
excited
asparagus.
to eat it?
Asparagus is great, a natural diuretic.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I love the way they make me feel, but I don't, like, I wouldn't say that I, like, enjoy sitting down eating veggies. By the way, if you ever do broccoli, put mustard on it, because the combination of mustard and broccoli, the cruciferous vegetables, with mustard, it increases the anti-cancer properties.
Really?
Isn't that cool?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's sick. I need to try, and I like mustard.
And cruciferous veggies are the only...
Can you say that word again?
Cruciferous veggies. And they have sulforaphane. Let me make sure I say this right.
This coffee is good.
Is it? So it's
lion's mane?
Lion's mane. That's a teaspoon of lion's mane. It's Bella Maria is my favorite Wicked Joe coffee. Comes in like an emerald green container, and then half tablespoon of coconut oil and soy milk.
I can on your lips after you can always tell when there's coconut oil.
Yeah, it's good for your skin. So sulforaphane and it's like glucosinolate. Anyways, cruciferous vegetables, they have this compound, and it's in like it's like sulfur rich compound sulforaphane, and in our bodies it gets turned into it just turns on our cellular detox system.
So basically just dump a bunch of mustard. Right? No. Just dump a bunch of mustard.
I want to say this right.
Mustard and broccoli.
Yeah.
Eat it up, kids. Damn, that sounds good. And I've been craving mustard a lot lately. Like at work, when I get my, heat up my food, I'm like, damn, something about mustard right now sounds good. It's so weird.
Yeah. So
like
there's like so many like chemical names.
Well, so
but the bottom line is the sulfur-rich foods and cruciferous vegetables, they have sulforaphane in them, and in our bodies it turns on our cellular detox system, and that's the only compound that does that. So otherwise we're flushing things out, but that's the only time, like once we get that sulforaphane in our cells, that's the only time our cells actually start detoxing. So when people like go on those like carrot, apple, like celery cleanses, you're cleaning out what's in your digestive system and you're flushing things out, but you're not actually detoxing. Then when you have like a bowl of broccoli, you're detoxing. And I'll notice when I eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables like kale, Brussels sprouts,
I was going to ask what are the other
cauliflower,
ones. Okay.
Arugula, my dark circles under my eyes kind of like go away.
Interesting. Another thing I heard about for if you have dark circles is a sinus thing.
We talked about this.
Didn't we? Okay.
Yeah. Breathing through your nose and
breathing through your nose, which we're supposed to. Like
makes me dizzy.
Calling someone dumb, you call them a mouth breather. Like you're such a mouth breather.
Yeah, that's what
it's like kind of you use it in a bad way. It makes kind of sense because we're supposed to breathe through or whatever. But I heard or read I didn't read it. I like skimmed. So who knows what the end of the article said. But it makes sense because it, the circulation around your eyes. So breathing opens it up.
That makes sense because my dark circles also go away after working out hard. And like obviously you're breathing deeply. Yeah. And you're not breathing with your mouth open because there's people around and that you just inherently know not to do that.
I've been trying to do that more more aware of it. During your workout, it's kind of hard, to not breathe from your mouth, especially when you're working really hard. But I've been trying really hard to focus on just breathing from my nose, even if I feel like I'm about to pass out.
Yeah.
Because then your VO2 max gets better over time because you're able to run off of less oxygen, I guess, or something. You're able to perform maybe at the same because your body's getting. I don't know. It was an article I read it a month ago, but breathing through your nose, something happens and it
changes your VO2 max.
Well, it improves it by you don't have to breathe as much or as intensely, and you get the same as if you were breathing through your mouth. It fluctuates. This is not anything I know about, obviously. You can tell by I'm talking, but whatever. Breathe through your fucking nose. I don't know.
I tried to. After you said that, I was like, oh, maybe I should. Maybe that's why my dark circles have been so bad. Or it's like you wake up and you've been drooling. Usually you have darker. At least I do. Usually I have darker circles if I've been drooling. I've been breathing through my mouth, obviously.
Yeah.
If I'm drooling.
Interesting. One thing I like to do is been trying to do it at least 4 times a week. This last week I failed miserably, went twice. But after my workout, 10 to 15 minutes in the sauna. And I'll sit there and just breathe through my nose.
I used to feel, I would stretch in the sauna.
I think it's 7 minutes in, 7 minutes, or it's not 7 minutes, jeez, seconds.
That would be wild.
Jeez, if you can hold it for that long, it's crazy. But just focusing on the breathing, especially in the sauna, because it helps so much stuff. But I've been trying to do that.
Just kind of loosens everything up.
The recovery and all the things that I've been reading about. And of course, I heard it while I was listening to Joe Rogan podcast. Do you know who Laird Hamilton is? He's a surfer.
No, I don't
If
know
I showed
who
you a
that
photo,
is.
you'd probably recognize who he is. But he's just
wanna
a
show me a photo?
madman. Yeah, he's insane. And he's a big advocate on saunas. And so is Joe Rogan. But all the stuff that they were talking about saunas and like the benefits is insane. It's hard for me to talk and type.
I know. It's really hard for me to multitask.
Can't do it. I was trying to, and it's like...
My dad and I were having this conversation last night. And he's like, women are so good at multitasking. Men have like tunnel vision.
Let's see here.
And I don't think I'm good at multitasking. I'm good at focusing on one thing.
This is the only one I can...
Oh, okay.
He's like a big wave surfer. Anyway, I mean, he's an older dude, like 60s maybe. And he's like...
Oh, he looks good.
He has a sauna at his house and stuff. Obviously rich. Sauna, and he'll bring his assault bike in there. And then
I would
go to
love that.
his ice baths.
Yeah,
he has like
it's really
those
good for you.
$6,000 ice baths.
The hot cold training.
I'm thinking about
Boost your immune system.
because I don't have $5,000 to just spend on an
Yeah.
ice bath.
Me
Rubbermaid, the company Rubbermaid,
Yeah.
they make 150 to 200 gallon feed tanks
For like animals, yeah.
and they're like $150 or something. So I get one of those, and then I just got to look up how much 200 pounds of ice will cost me, because that's gonna probably be...
And where are you
the
gonna
most.
get it?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I would probably have to maybe find like a legit just place that does ice.
My friend was
Or a
talking
supplier.
about like his friend like has like an ice company. I'll have to ask him. Actually, the company I work with, so Paragon Body, are you familiar with that?
Just through
My Instagram. Yeah, so
which I'd like to talk more about,
Yeah.
but we'll get
so
there.
the owner, we all went to lunch yesterday, and he was saying his friend had like an ice company. This is like not really,
Yeah.
but
No, that's...
ask
If
him- I'll
I
ask about it.
it's like, man, I get $150. Like, I might want to put that towards something different.
Yeah, putting it towards ice is. I mean, maybe you can get like
I'll have a little ice
an ice
bath party.
room. Is that like a cryotherapy?
I've done that. Have you done that?
No.
It's pretty cool. I did it after a workout. I think my first session, like your first time got, I think it was like either 40 or $60, somewhere
Where
in
was
there.
that?
Downtown Sunnyvale. Is that Murphy Street?
Yeah.
It was there.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still there.
We had that when I was working at 49ers Fit, and they still have it. They had cryotherapy you could use. I think it costs money. I don't think it was free with the membership.
I want to go back. But the ice, I don't know. Maybe I'll just
What
have
kind
like...
of benefits did you notice
For
from
the-
the cryotherapy?
It's kind of the same concept as if you do the ice bath. It's like shocking your body, and basically it's kind of the same concept as the sauna. So what is ice or cold is hypothermia, right? And then the heat is hyperthermia. So basically both of those, you get into those situations where you're starting to get fucking freezing, or like a sauna, you're burning up. Your body is like, okay, fight or flight, like we're dying. Like we're gonna die. Like they don't, I mean, obviously you get used to the heat, used to the cold after you keep going. But your body is like, all right, we need to protect ourselves. So it releases all these hormones. So that's good for like recovery.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different things.
I love that. I love like mentally knowing that I'm okay, but then my body's like in fight or flight. It's kind of a high.
Benefits of, let's just go sauna. I would imagine it's the same. I don't know. It's the ice or cold, hot.
Yeah.
It plays on each other. Like Laird Hamilton recommends, you do 3 minutes ice, 15 minutes heat, and then you do 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So ice, heat, ice, heat, ice, heat. Because they play on each other, but it's like not everyone has an ice bath, or most gyms don't have ice
A lot
baths.
of people also don't have time to stretch and foam roll and work out and then sauna and then like, ice bath and like still live a regular life and have a career and have a family. There's just like so many things.
I was going to say I'm doing it, but then again, I don't, it's just my weekends that I have free. Like when I come home from the gym, I have like 3 hours. And then I leave and I get home and I go to sleep.
Yeah. And you don't even get enough sleep and like get your 8 hours of sleep.
So hold on, but that's one thing that I'm not really entirely sure. You said that you need at least 8
Yeah.
to function, right?
I've been trying to lie to myself for the past couple weeks and be like, I don't need 8 hours of sleep. That's luxurious. Plenty of people get by. And like, I can get by, but I physically feel like I am a lesser version of myself when I'm getting less than 8 hours of sleep. I can maybe get away with like a couple days of 6 hours and still the 8 hours, but I had like a 4-hour day hour of sleep day this week, and like a 1 hour, and I went and like trained my sister, and then I came back home and slept for like 6 hours. When I'm just not getting that 8 hours of sleep regularly, like I physically feel like right here in my forehead, like just weird, like off, and I just like feel, because I'm a very sensitive person.
Interesting.
And I normally feel like pretty connected to things, where like I'll know when I can like feel that I'll have a DM and like feel who it's from on Instagram before I even open it. Or I'll feel that I have a text from a certain person and like check my phone and like they literally that second had just texted me.
What?
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
That is weird. Cool.
Very
cool.
like energy assessed.
Because then you can be like, I already know what I'm gonna say.
But I mean, it's not always. It's just like sometimes, and I have to be in a like certain kind of relaxed state to tap that, and I can't like go forcing like looking for it. It's just I have to be like in kind of a zone, and then I'll like kind of feel these things before they like as they're happening or before they're happening. But when I don't get enough sleep, I like feel more, because we have like an energy field, right? I feel like more like my energy field is like shrunken, and I'm more irritable, and I feel like more like I'm not taking care, I am not taking care of myself, like more frustrated with other people for needing something from me because I'm not giving enough to myself. But then when I get my full hours of sleep, I'm like, let me just give as much as I can. I feel amazing. I have an endless supply of energy.
I mean, it makes sense. Which
I think is that sounds pretty logical.
It
right?
does. I mean, I guess I don't know.
And everyone's different.
That's what I was gonna
men
kind of
don't
say.
need as much sleep as women. And the
is that
more
like
you think, the more sleep you need, because you like thinking is actually, your thoughts are actually like, there's something there. So the more that you're thinking, the more your brain needs to like recover and kind of like organize and balance things out.
Because there's a guy.
And I'm a thinker.
There's a guy. What is his name? Well, I know his first name. His first name is Jocko. His last name's Willink. Willink? I don't know. I said it wrong on one of my other podcasts. But every day, I don't know what time he's going to sleep exactly, but he's waking up at 4:30.
Yeah, there are some people I'm like, how are you operating like this?
I think he's like ex-Navy SEAL stuff, where that was their life. Like, that's what they do. Like, boom, boom, boom. They're fucking machines.
Yeah, an Army sniper instructor that I was like seeing last year, and he told me that your brain, there's no negative impact on your brain after 48 hours of sleep. I'm like, that is such a fat lie, because after lack of 24 hours of sleep, I'm like so tired. If I keep going, I feel very different. So how are you going to tell me that there's no effect?
I'm going to shut that real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel I only got...
And then food impacts you too. Like turmeric will protect your brain, because you get brain damage from lack of sleep. So from too much, right? Lack of sleep. So turmeric will kind of help protect that.
Okay.
Also, if you're going to drink, have turmeric before, because it protects your brain. You won't have as bad of a hangover.
I've been getting them so bad lately.
I think it's like Gold Juice. What's the brand? People talk about this. It's
the milk?
No, that's
are you talking about
milk? There's a
I've had
company
like
that makes
milk
Organifi. So they have Gold Juice, and it has turmeric in it. And if you have that before, this is what I've heard. If you have that before you drink, you don't have as bad of a hangover. And whenever you have turmeric, you want to have black pepper with it, because it helps you absorb more of the curcumin, which is that active compound that protects your brain. So if you're doing like the golden milk, you can do heat up almond milk, put turmeric and a little bit of black pepper.
I think that's what I did.
I
think that's what I did. I don't know what milk I used.
Yeah, well, you want like some kind of nut milk. So when you do dairy, it has casein and it binds to antioxidants, and then you don't get as much of the antioxidant benefit with like flavonols and certain antioxidants.
Interesting. Sometimes when I get home, I'll have so whey protein is the more, it's
faster
not instant, but it's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Casein obviously is the slow. So sometimes I'll mix both of them.
The casein's not even necessary.
Because I have some.
So
and
whey
sometimes
protein after your workout, awesome, because it's quick.
Yeah.
If you want to maximize like your anabolic window. But really, if you just get everything you need in your day, that window's not even that important, because the amino acids are circulating throughout your body. We used to think that you needed like all your amino acids at each meal, and now we know that there's more of like a pool of amino acids in your body. So it's really just getting all the amino acids you need in that day.
Okay.
Which is like shocking to like a lot of bodybuilders. But to get your, like, as long as for the complete protein, as long as you're getting all those amino acids you need in your day, it's okay if you have, you know, incomplete protein in the morning and the complementary incomplete protein in the evening. As long as it's in the day, your body's going to use it.
Okay. Huh. All right.
We humans complicate everything. We
yeah.
make things so complicated.
And all the
like
fads.
your time window and like your body adjusts. And if you look at studies, even like using the time window, there's not that big of a difference of people who capitalize on that window versus the people who just get everything they need.
And I think, I don't know when the whole fad started of, you know,
eating every 2 to 3 hours, like, not necessary.
Well, yeah, but you know
that.
the fad of, I think maybe when social media started getting massive, and that's like
people want to be a
your
part
job
of
now.
cool.
You can be, well, the fact that this is something I'm doing right now, which I guess you can, it's social, you know, to an extent, it's on platforms.
It's social. It's a media.
It's social. Yeah, I guess so.
There you go.
But mainly, you know, like Instagram. I think ever since fitness became, I would not be surprised if fitness is the number one thing on like Instagram.
Yeah.
That become like the most.
And dogs.
Okay, dogs and
Trying to
fitness.
make Sawyer famous.
But I think once that got big and people were like, especially more for girls, be like, hey, I look good and I have somewhat of a following already. This could be my job.
Yeah.
So I think once that kind of started and people are, you know, it got traction, everyone has knowledge that they're putting out, and it's like, what is real? What's
which is.
Did that even make sense? I know I kind of went like a long way.
Because someone who like
that,
maybe was genetically blessed or figured out their body or like made it work for them, and so now they're taking what works for them as like fact and kind of spreading it, or
which
just,
it wouldn't work for someone else.
Yeah, or you might not even know that it's work. There's so many factors that go into like a human and how they look. There's so many factors, and so people will see a progression and they're like, oh, I'm doing this, it must be this, and it's not necessarily that. There's a lot of information that's just like so inaccurate, and it's, if you want to eat every couple hours, it's not bad, but you don't have to. And then there's people like, I can never do fitness because I don't have time to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Like, you totally don't have to. You just need to work out, get it in, use good form, get the food you need in the day, and however you can make that work for you, is you're going to get progress. You don't need to do all these little things like casein before bed or protein powders. You don't need pre-workout, all these crazy supplements.
So let's see, you're personal trainer and nutritionist at Paragon, right?
Body, yeah.
I'll put some of the info we go through, I'll put it all in like the show notes so they can click through like your Instagram and stuff like that. But going off of what we just talked about, how there's like everyone is just spitting out all these plans. Yeah. Like here's
my gosh,
here's
and I've
my
seen
workout.
Some of them and like people who do the low carb, medium carb, high carb diet. So like I've seen a high carb day be like 117 grams of carbs. Your brain needs 130 to function. That's just for your brain. And if your brain's not getting that, it's going to make ketones from fat and protein. So if that's your high carb day, your carbs are so low, your body's constantly going to be making ketones for your brain to function. So from fat, that's awesome. Your body's using the fat, but then it's also taking your protein, and it's in that zone where it's going to, because it thinks it needs to be, where it's gonna not even have any problem.
Do you become like that where you start to go into like a catabolic
I said
state?
that wrong. So it's not ketones. You can shift into ketosis, but your body's gonna make carbs out of fat and protein.
Okay, so
ketosis is a lot lower, under like 30 grams of protein or something like that. I don't know if that's the exact
something
number.
You need to be like kind of pinpoint a little bit more.
So because your brain
careful.
needs ketones or carbs, so your body will it can make carbs from fats and proteins, and that's what it'll do if it's above that ketone threshold, but not getting that minimum amount that your brain needs. Can you edit that so that doesn't the ketone part?
Do you have a source or something like you like, or like a website that I can plug in the notes that if they want they can click on it? You can look
through articles on PubMed.
PubMed?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe later I'll text you. Yeah, well, I'll just like, hey, can you just send me like, even if you forget this exact one, any links that you find, like, you know, to Paragon, like I mentioned, your Instagram page, and any other links that you might
I'll
for people
send them
to check out. But going off what I was saying, that so you're a personal trainer and Nutritionist at the same place.
Yeah.
Is it just Paragon?
Paragon Body, yeah.
Paragon Body. So going off of what we were talking about, how there's so many different like workout plans and stuff, and diets. Well, I hate that word diet, but
meal plans, dietary
I think
plans, dietary
more
guidelines.
of like just your lifestyle of
Yeah.
how you eat. Because the dieting, I think I
I
say
like
one on
that,
a
your
podcast.
diet
It's like
lifestyle.
it,
Nutrition
well, I don't
lifestyle.
like the word diet because it
Your
kind of has
food
like
lifestyle.
like a negative connotation to
Yeah.
it. But anyways, for both of those things, being a personal trainer and nutritionist, do you follow certain plans from other people, or how do you pick and choose what you
What
personally
I prescribe or what I do for
do
myself?
for yourself?
For myself, I've kind of figured it out.
Just by picking and
over
pulling
the years.
from different things.
I've tracked
what
my
works.
food for years, for like 7 years. I have an app, My Nut Diary, which I got it luckily.
What is
when
it called?
My Nut Diary.
Okay. Is
I
that
got
one
it
that
when
they
it was
any?
like a one-time fee of like $3.
Oh, is it a subscription now?
Now it's like $9 a month.
Oh.
It's
I
made. It's
mean-
legit. It's made by registered dietitians. It has all the science facts. You can track absolutely everything, and then you can get details about everything. It's an awesome app. So it's way better than MyFitnessPal.
What was it called again?
My Nut Diary.
My Net.
You can even like scan your food, and it'll come up, and you can put the exact portion. So it's very precise.
This was maybe like, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I've had it for like 7 years.
7? Okay. I think I had something like that where I could either type in what it was, or
Yeah.
like you can scan it,
Yeah.
but like red apple and like,
Yeah.
or apple and like, well, which one, idiot?
Well, even down to like the brand for most things, and
Like,
you
which
can put
kind
it
of
in.
brand
If you
banana
have the
you got there,
package, you
son?
can put it in.
Yeah. So going off to that, is it the same for fitness and your dieting? You kind of just over the years, like have
For
you kind
myself?
of, yeah, just for, I'm talking about yourself for right now.
Yeah. So with the dieting, like I never had anyone tell me how to eat. I just got that. I thought I knew things, and like I wasn't seeing progress, and I was like working really hard for like a year, like at the gym, and I couldn't really see muscle definition.
Just
And I would
kinda
have
like a
like
plateau
binge
sort.
eating, and I thought I was eating enough protein, and I kind of did my own research. I was so like thirsty to learn, so like things
Yeah.
would pop into my head. I was like, I have to research this right now. Like I
It's
was
kinda
so
like me,
excited
yeah.
and passionate about it. And so I followed this girl on Instagram, and she showed that she was using My Nut Diary and like her breakdown. And I was like, that's so cool. Let me try that. And my friend introduced me to protein powder. He was actually my trainer. Kyle Cypress, you probably know him.
I
Yeah,
saw
he was
him
my trainer when I first started
Yeah.
working out. We did 10 sessions. That was it, because I knew nothing. I just showed him pictures. I was like, I want to look like her. Like I saw
And he's like, okay.
magazine pictures of like girls with tight waists and
Yeah.
abs, and like fitness wasn't really a thing back then. But I would like,
It was like at
it was
the
like
start
kind of, it was like a fitness RX. I just wanted to be
Yeah.
healthy. And I was with my family in Washington, and there was a magazine, and I wanted like
You're
a
like,
health
yeah.
magazine, and I saw the fitness RX, and like I forgot what the other one was, but it was like Jamie Baird and India Polino, and like I don't think people really know much about who they are. They're fitness competitors.
What are the names again?
Jamie Baird and India Polino. And India
That
Polino
last
is a
one
little bit more
sounds
familiar.
Was
She's,
she
like,
on
Olympian.
it might be Netflix. There was a
Yeah, she was.
She
on
was?
Okay. On one of
I was
those
like,
bodybuilding.
that sounds familiar. Okay.
Yeah, she's like very cute, but I saw their pictures on magazines, and like I was like, oh my god,
Like,
they
that's
look
what I
like
wanna-
goddesses.
yeah.
I want to look like that. Look at those waists.
Well, we'll have to do some more
The
a
shredding.
couple more photo shoots.
We
And
will have to.
maybe we'll just feel like submit them to a magazine, and
How
probably
cool would that
I mean,
be?
it doesn't hurt to
Doesn't
try,
hurt to try.
right?
Just send it to them.
Just-
like look at my picture.
Hey, check me out.
So I picked up those magazines, and I actually kind of looked at like their plans, and it was like the because they were in
Yeah.
there. It was like the basic like almonds and chicken, and so just
The
seeing
basic
that,
of basic stuff.
well, yeah,
Like,
and like yogurt and like their workouts, and I showed Kyle the pictures, and I was like, I want to look like that. I want abs,
Yeah.
and he was like, got you. And so we did 10 sessions. That was it, and it was a lot of just like functional training, and I followed that on my own for like a year before I started doing like real stuff,
like getting
like
you
cable
learned more
rows
and
and
you
just
figured out like, okay, well, this
Instagram
doesn't work for me.
magazines and stuff.
Yeah, like
and,
an overhand grip or something works
Yeah.
different than, well, like for example, the bent over row. I knew, there was a difference between over and under, but I didn't know which ones were.
which one works best for you?
Yeah, and I still I'm talking like maybe a couple months ago, finally realized which ones it works.
Yeah.
And I might even be wrong. I don't know. Overhand, I think works more of your actual back. What's the
your traps.
When you
the upper
when you do like
back.
a bar, like a row.
The overhand is definitely gonna work more of like your traps, the muscles by your shoulders, and then the underhand more of like your lats.
Okay, yeah. Ooh. Finally starting to see like it come down right here.
Isn't that
I'm
exciting?
Like, yes.
Well, I was just so like, I wanted to like feel it, and like I knew what I wanted to look like,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to be balanced and feel everything. And I was really lucky that I was able to like go to school and only focus on school
Right.
and my fitness. Like I could meal prep, I could spend 3 hours at the gym and try all these things. And I got this pre-workout at the time called FemFire because I moved to San Diego and I didn't know anybody, and the gym was like this big gym, Balboa, overwhelming, like all these buff people, and it was overwhelming. So I needed something to give me tunnel vision. And I got this pre-workout called FemFire, and I swear there was like amphetamines in it or something at the time.
You just
They
get
changed
cracked
the
out.
ingredients because I've gone back to try to get it, and there's no more of the amphetamine derivative.
Yeah.
But it would make me like felt so connected and just like in the zone, and I could feel it. And so like I looked forward to my workouts, and I really felt them. And I was like trying to eat healthy and just completely diving into it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was really lucky that all I had to do was school, and I was
Right,
being
yeah.
supported, and it was like a full-time job. Like I wasn't really being social. I was just so interested. I felt so drawn and pulled to it, and like I didn't care. It was so much more important to me than like
Right.
dating or like being social.
Honestly, that's where I'm at right now. Because, well, I've done the touring thing
Yeah,
for like the
you're
last
super
10
busy.
years. And so last year, or I think last year or 2 years ago, one of the two, whatever. The same ab contest, Corey Gregory's ab contest thing. I started it, and this was, I think I'm at the same, well, no, I was weighing 193 was the lowest. That was probably the lowest I've been since high school. I was looking the best I've ever looked, just overall the best I've ever been since, well, high school doesn't count because I was a scrawny little skater kid and was just naturally jacked or ripped because
druggie.
See, well, I want to get into that a little bit, just a little, not
really.
that actual, what you were doing, but
Yeah.
the change in lifestyles.
Yeah.
But 2 months and I got down to 193, I believe, and then it was, like I said, looking the best I've ever looked, was stronger than I've been in a long time. Like talking 193 and still able to. I think there was a point like every day I was squatting 405.
Every single day?
I was doing like
Damn.
squat every day and stuff.
Yeah,
which,
we talked about this.
yeah. And, like I was
And
able
you
to
were improving
deadlift
your
455
weights, right?
at like 193. So things were going up and it was great. 2 months in, and then I had to leave for a month on tour. And
Do you have time
I looked
to-
good on tour
Yeah.
for a month. But, the month goes by and I was with a Mice and Men, and we like to party.
That's so cool. That like you have to
But then there
appreciate that
goes those
experience.
gains.
But
I
you'll
think I
get them
came
back.
back weighing like 210.
Yeah.
Because you
But you'll get that. Did you get back started? 'Cause
Well,
a month
then I started back
in
on
and
my grind again.
Yeah.
So like
When did you get back?
on this last run,
Yeah.
Uh,
Was that of Mice and Men?
this last one I was out with a band called Nothing More.
Okay.
I got back. I'll call it like 3 months ago.
Okay. And have you been
maybe
back
a
on
little,
your-
maybe like a week or two under 3 months. I don't know. We'll just call it 3 months.
Have you been back on your grind?
Oh yeah, like 6-7 days a week, and just because I'm doing it in the morning, I think from stepping in the gym to leaving the gym, like probably a little over 2 hours. That's including sauna, shower. I don't warm up like crazy, just a little bit.
Well, it takes time to get into your zone
But-
where you're actually.
Well, I think
getting-
it takes me like a set or two. Unless
Really? That's it?
Unless
That's
like
good.
today it was a little different because last night I had a beer and like 3 shots of vodka. So I woke up and like was
A
like,
little dehydrated,
this
maybe.
fucking sucks. Like maybe I should just go back to bed. And I was like, you're up already. Like
I
just
saw
go.
your post. Just go.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, damn it. But
You don't get anything done in bed except healing
where
and
was I
recovering.
going with this?
The progress.
Oh yeah, so just leaving on tour and then coming back at, the last time I did this contest, it just ruined all my gains and it sucked. So now that I'm back and I'm stepped back from touring, and now I'm working, all I got to focus on is like, all right, am I at work on time? Great, cool. Go to work, come home, sleep, wake up, go to the gym.
Right.
That's
nice.
it. Don't have a girlfriend. I don't got anything else to do. Just go to the gym. And the winner of this contest, I don't know what the
Gets a
Steve
girlfriend.
Cook. I might quit. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to win. No, not right now.
If that's the prize.
No, it's first place is a
it's-
Rolex. Second
That's
place is
fun.
$1,000. Third place is 500.
Well, it's wild because like a lot of people start with fitness out of like a bad breakup or like with like they always say
to be like, yo, look what you're missing out on.
yeah, like go and get in the gym, get someone better. Like, so a lot of people like start with that intention, and then when you get into it, it makes you realize that you don't even need like a boyfriend or girlfriend. You're like, oh, you know what? Actually, this is
I just
the
need
reward.
to keep looking at myself in the mirror.
Feeling good, having
So
good energy. But like,
if you need to
no, it's fine.
text someone,
No, it's okay.
it's not like, go
wouldn't be
for
rude.
it. But I'm just very stoked to like finally have nothing really stopping me from working out. Like I don't have to worry about getting hit up for. I mean, I probably will get hit up for some tours. I already got one and I turned it down. Like, because one, I got the job, and then two, I'm like, well, I kind of want to make this fitness thing a thing.
Yeah.
So I got to figure that out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't necessarily think I want to be the. Well, see, that's what I got to figure out. Because I like doing just
People love to
the
just
mini film
watch
things.
people, yeah.
But I gotta. I mean, I don't know about you, but myself and my buddy, we know some people at 24, like trainers and stuff.
Yeah.
And after you go there for many years, you start to know. But I gotta ask and see what their policy is. Their actual policy
I see
on
everyone
filming.
filming.
Oh, me too. And I'm like a foot away
What
from
are they
a
gonna
trainer.
do? Revoke your membership?
Well, what I think is stupid, it's like I'm filming in your place, and I know I only
you're
have
gaining traction.
I
from
only
it.
have 16,000 followers, which is
That's
not
actually kind of a lot.
compared to a real fitness person who,
Yeah.
like
if
Steve
they say
Cook,
over
what is he in the millions or
10,000,
something?
you're influential, right? Over 10,000, 10K.
I don't consider it, but whatever. It's like I'm promoting your site, your place.
Yeah.
I'm paying to
Well, that's
promote.
just a lot of people that are seeing that.
I think it's why it's just because the thing where people don't want to be filmed. So I gotta ask them because I want to legitly bring in. I have a smaller camera.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm bringing in like a huge setup. Like
I think it's
just
against
bring in-
policy.
yeah, because other people.
Because I worked there before at 24.
You did?
Yeah, I was front desk, and I was at the Super Sport. I was front desk, and then I was front desk and trainer at the Sport down the street.
Okay, I saw
years
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, okay, that was when I was.
The Sport
I
was
went
like
there for a
6 or
little
7
bit.
years ago, and
Yeah.
then Super Sport was just a summer when I was back home from school because
Okay.
I didn't want to do nothing.
Huh.
I wanted to stay
Yeah.
in the gym environment.
Well, what I might do, because I have. This is all gonna get cleaned up eventually, but I have. I mean, you can kind of see it. See the bag. It's like a shark's bag. To your right, more on the thing.
Yeah.
There's a barbell. I don't have a lot of weights. I have like two 25s and two 10s from
Yeah.
Rogue. I have a sled. I have a weight vest. I have battle ropes. I got some dumbbells and stuff like that. So like, maybe I might try and film more
Yeah.
stuff here. If I don't want to change gyms and go to one that's like, of course I want to go to one that looks cooler and
I
allows
don't
you
think
to film. But
I don't think 49ers Fit has an issue with filming.
Hmm.
So I know my friend's girlfriend was filming there for a while,
yeah,
and they're pretty. Yeah, and actually, I have a friend that wanted. He's done some shoots at 49ers Fit. I think 49ers Fit is cool with filming.
okay.
And I know, like, I worked there too. The management's pretty cool. I would just like let them know, just like, hey,
They have
do you
film
mind?
and stuff.
Yeah,
Or
and I
like
think they're pretty cool with it. They'll probably just ask you to tag the location. And, like,
right,
why
like,
not?
hey, if
It's-
you're gonna film, like,
and it's a good place
come
to
on.
film, especially midday, because it's newer. It's only been around for like a year, so
Okay.
it's still pretty empty, especially in the mornings and midday. In the evenings, like 5 p.m., it's pretty crowded.
Okay.
But if you get there before or even like a little bit later in the night, it's good.
How much is it?
49.
Oh, it's
A month?
I think that's what I pay at 24.
Yeah, it's about the same as 24. It's a lot nicer. It's far for me, which
Well,
is
I've
why I
seen-
don't
where,
go
is it
there.
over by
It's
Levi's?
by no, it's
just figured 'cause that's where they-
Westgate, over by Prospect High School,
So San Jose, like,
Saratoga, San Jose, kind of
oh,
borderline.
like, so where, you know where Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah,
Is it
it's
that
kind of over.
or further?
I think it's
by the mall.
yeah, by what it's
Oak-
connected
is it
to
Oak
Westgate.
Ridge?
Westgate.
Is that Oak Ridge?
I don't
over
think
there?
it's Oak Ridge. I think it's Westgate. And there's
Somewhere over,
Let me see if I can.
like 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, depending on
Yeah,
traffic.
I have like
I
5
know. That's why I
minutes.
meant 24 because it's like a 5-minute.
You're even
drive.
closer.
Yeah,
You could probably walk there in the time I drive there.
because I can't say I love the environment at 24, and if you're somebody who like actually lifts seriously, everyone stares at you and it's uncomfortable.
Well,
But it's convenient and close, so I keep going.
at least it's not Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
I think you,
I have some
me,
bodybuilder
my,
friends that'll
my
work out at
friend,
Planet Fitness.
we would all get kicked out.
Like, no, I have a huge bodybuilder friend in
But maybe he's nice.
Southern California.
Maybe he doesn't like grunt and like cuss and drop weights and like, you know, actually work.
He looks like a body. He's huge. It's like 220, 240 pound, like 6 foot. He's a big tattooed, ripped guy, like in Planet Fitness.
Well, I just know that I've seen stories. I've seen like influencers go in there and get kicked out because they're like going in there and like they're
if you're obnoxious
grunting.
about it.
Not like, well, some of them they'll go in to make a video. Oh no, Steve Weatherford. He's the football guy. He went in there and like he did it like crazy. He got dressed up in like a sombrero and like the poncho.
See, that's why he got kicked out.
Like, that's
like, rude.
Well, it was hilarious. But people, I guess, get kicked out because it's like,
because
say I'm deadlifting 4 or 5. I'm not gonna put that down nicely.
They're trying to create an environment that makes people comfortable working out there. And I wouldn't even say it's for everyone. It's definitely not for people like you and me. But it's good for people who are intimidated by like a regular gym.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they like, that's their niche is. Like, we're good. If you're intimidated, like, come here. You can still get a workout in and you'll be comfortable. And like, I respect that. But it's not a gym that I would go work out at.
No, Anna, too much purple.
Too much purple.
And yellow?
Yeah. Barney.
Another one I don't do it that much, but the rest of my family, they go to Crunch.
Okay, I haven't been. There's one
it's
kind of
nice.
on the
It's
street.
new. Everything. Well, obviously, it's new.
Friend that works there.
Who?
Erica.
I don't know. It's too. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like 24. For example, like the weights. You know, it's not this. Well, they're steel, but they're coated. But they have the. What shape is that?
Hexagon. Hex plates.
Hex plates. That makes a lot of sense. Unless you go to the platforms and they have the. Is it how do you say it? The Eleiko or
Eleiko. Yeah.
The weightlifting plates, whatever. The bumper plates.
Those used to intimidate me because they were different. But now I like them.
I don't
better.
like how they're different colors. It's so dumb. It's so childish. Like, we're not Olympic lifters. Like, we don't need to know in speed which ones we need to put on. Like, just put the number on the side. I like the old ones, the black ones, because it looks like Rogue, and Rogue is the best ever. I do like not hex plates though, and I didn't realize how much I'd like not hex plates. It's just like with deadlifting, it's so much. I mean, not that you shouldn't be moving so much that it would make a difference, but just putting the plates on and keeping it even, it's a lot more. And they get lopsided because like they're you cut it on wrong. But anyways, I mean, like 24, it's a little bit, edgier, as in like you can more find corners to it. Yeah. Like the machines, it looks, there's some. This is so weird. I don't know how to describe it, but you go into Crunch and it's like everything is like round or something. It's just weird. Like I get this like just weird vibe of like everything, like the bars at first they had they had bigger bars, I think. It almost like reminds me of like a Planet Fitness a little bit. Like when I've never been in, but like seeing pictures. Gimmicky. Yeah. 24. I mean, they're all 24's had its like chains, but like iron days though, where everything was like iron. Yeah. Well, just the 24. Like the 24 Sunnyvale Sport, that was the first one, wasn't it? The Super Sport? The Sport. No, Sunnyvale. Wasn't that like the first 24 before they started like opening all them? My parents planned their first date at that gym. And they met at a bar, and they didn't realize that they were working out at the gym at the same time. My mom was taking classes, my dad was lifting, and they were always working out there at the same time. They had never met each other, and so they planned they met at the bar, and then they were on the phone. My dad made sure that he was like, let's plan our date after your workout class, because he wanted to make sure that she wasn't one of those girls that just went to the gym to look pretty, that she actually like worked out and sweat. And my mom was like, your dad was so mean, he made me meet him when I was sweaty, because she did. She was like about it. She was actually working. Yeah, and they planned their first date there, and then they had me in the daycare since I was 6 months old. And the daycare, the women that ran the daycare, I was the flower girl at her wedding. And then she was my babysitter. Then she had 4 kids, and I babysat them. So like 24 has been like part of your life. Ironically, like you're like embedded. Very ironically, like such a huge part of my life. It's like yeah. So you can't like, you have to essentially
I have
forever.
to love 24.
You have
I've been
to,
there since I was like 13 years old.
You forever have to work out at 24.
I know.
If you go to another gym, you're pretty much just like
giving them the finger. I know.
You're like slapping.
That's
them
why,
in
like,
the
I get
face.
mad when I have to wait for machines. I'm like, do you realize how much of my gym this is?
Oh
and
my-
I have no right. We're all paying the same membership.
This is
but
what you
like,
need to do. You need to go get a label maker with your name that says
And people joke
reserved
about it, too.
for
They're like, oh.
Brianna. So when you go and be like, excuse me, you're on my machine, and they'll be like something. Hopefully they say, what do you mean? I don't see your name on it. And you'd be like,
right there.
check it.
Yeah, some of the guys are like, they're on your machine.
What's your go-to machine? Like,
I've spent like a lot of time with the barbells because hip thrust,
I feel
deadlift,
like- okay,
Romanian deadlift
yeah.
squats, you get the biggest bang for your buck on those.
Okay.
They're the most like hormone stimulating lifts, those heavy lifts that are using all your leg muscles and you're bracing your core, and with the deadlifts, your back's getting work. So I'll be on the like squat rack for like 2 hours.
Yeah. So
really, and like here, I'm over here getting mad when people make me wait, and then I'm on the rack.
Right.
For 2 hours. I have no right, but
well,
yeah. So that the abduction machine, leg press, cables. I'll do like some cables, like pull throughs.
So-
This is just my leg day stuff.
So we'll
'Cause-
continue talking about this literally like after I say this. I just
Yeah.
got to figure out how to say it without sounding weird. But because I know you train upper body as well, but
Yeah.
you like to train
Legs and
and glutes. So of course, I don't know what other word to say, but like the fad online with girls,
Glute training.
guys
Booties,
too. Hey,
peaches.
hey, guy, you gotta have some buns too.
Definitely.
But because now a lot of I see it all the time. I go to my explore page on Instagram and it's bunch of just fitness chicks and it's posing their
Booty
legs
poses,
off.
yeah.
Unless they're like power lifters and then they're doing like the
Yeah.
front double bi pose and stuff like that. But for the I don't know if even if you're a guy listening to this, but probably mainly girls, if they're trying to build bigger, stronger legs and glutes,
What are the
try and get
go-to
that
exercises?
IG booty.
Yeah.
Like what, like
what do I recommend?
something not okay. We're not trying to be like, I'm sure no one, well, depending on their schedule and how hard they want to work, maybe like not a 2 hour.
Yeah, no, I
like-
just obsess. I like to try things. That's why it takes
Yeah.
me so long, is because I like
You take your
to
time,
try things and
like,
experiment. If something felt off, I'm like, well, what if I try doing this first? Like, I really like to play with
Yeah.
it. It's who I am as a person.
Because let's try and get this episode
Yeah.
just insanely popular because you're giving secrets away for all the
for the
ladies
glute
to
gains?
turn those glute gains, turn that knob.
Well, I'd say start with 3 times. Just commit 3 times a week to the gym,
okay.
because
Like an hour?
hormones are huge. The hormone, because you can hit your glutes from every angle and like really hit them and feel them and not grow because you're not getting that hormone
Yeah.
stimulus. So a few times per week to keep the hormones that are telling your
Okay.
body to put muscle on, so you constantly have that signal. I would do every other day to every 2 days or 3 days, doing glutes and legs, and then hip thrusts, and do them properly.
And I see you doing that a lot. Like when
Yeah.
I actually say, when I see your like Instagram stories,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not your dog, your
I
amazing,
usually don't film my workouts because I want to focus on them.
I feel you on that. So it's your dog, the
Coffee.
the food, your coffee, and then like those treat things you make all the time, like brownies and all those.
Mm-hmm.
Which do you just do those by yourself, or like do you, like as in like
It's
your
mostly
head, or do you have
by myself, or I'll like look at a recipe and kind
You
of
need to
change
make some.
things. Yeah.
make like a, even if it's like a blog, just make a
Yeah.
blog where you have like, here's my recipe.
I don't
for
have a
this.
ton of like creative ones. I have like a
So-
lot of like basic go-tos. Maybe of like someone's like write a cookbook. I'm like, I have like 5 recipes that are
Or
really good.
just you can bump your Instagram viewings and stuff like this by
Yeah.
having like your story highlights or something. Like have one that's like, they're treats, right? Little sweet
Mm-hmm. Mostly.
treat recipes.
I try to actually make them like macro friendly, so I could.
So yeah, just go and get, even if you have 3, just as an example.
Yeah.
Just like maybe next time you make it, just film the basic steps, and then at the
Yeah.
end just have a little written down thing. Then they can screenshot it and
That's
make
a good
it.
idea. I'm gonna do that.
And I asked you once. I
I'm
was like,
really
hey,
hard
I
on
need.
myself though. Like if it's not to my standard, I'm like, I'm not gonna post this. This is like
I just
chicken
get
scratch,
it up.
you
Who
know?
cares? Even
Yeah.
maybe just do a few, and then if you get a good response, which I'm sure, because I'm probably not the only one who's asked you for a
Yeah.
recipe.
yeah.
People are gonna catch on and be like, hey, send this to me. And then you can just be like, okay, I'm just going to put it up there. And so they can just go, and it lives on there. It doesn't go away.
Yeah. The highlights, right?
Yeah, the highlights. But going back to how to get these people to build
their booty,
them legs and booty and all this, I was trying to figure out a way to make, because that's a popular thing right now.
It's such, yeah.
Not a lot of people want to, I mean, by the way, I saw your most recent photos, your shoulders are looking
my upper body got strong.
I
so
saw,
that's
I was
a
like,
cool thing too.
you always look fit, but I was like,
when
I
did this
forget which one.
happen?
It was like a couple of days ago.
You know, my squat went up by
like,
10 pounds. So I've had like really tight hips and I got them worked on. And I also started focusing more on my form because I've always had an anterior pelvic tilt. So like really trying to keep my core tight and focus more on my form. So I put 10 pounds on my squat and then I put 10 pounds on my shoulder presses. Like I started with the squat. Yeah, my legs. So my legs got stronger and then I didn't change anything in my upper body routine. My upper body got stronger. And it's just because of the hormones. Your legs are they release so many hormones because they're such big muscles and you have that circulating through your body. So your upper body benefits too.
Yeah.
And so like all these guys that want to skip legs, like if you want your upper body to grow, do legs.
I was actually just going to say, when I was doing squat every day, one of the things, I don't know who said it, but they're like, if you want your bench press to go up, your squat has to go up.
Yeah.
And especially, I'm sure it's somewhat related to the girls, but in a different way. For the guys, it's like, you want to just get jacked, you got to like bump your testosterone like fucking crazy. And
you don't have to take hormones to do it.
The best way, because the legs are the biggest thing you could work out and it helps everything.
Yeah.
And your testosterone just goes.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, I keep going into your...
The hormone thing is super huge. That's why if you look like on Instagram we were kind of talking about earlier, like fitness really blew up and there's all this information out there. Right. And a lot of those guys that are on like, even girls that are on like steroids and drugs, they can get away with a lot more. Like you can do a lot of isolated stuff, a lot of things where you're just really feeling the muscle work and you're still going to grow because you have the hormones because you're taking them artificially, right?
Yeah.
But then somebody who's not on hormones can do the same workout and they're not going to get the same results because they don't have the hormones. So they need to make sure that they're choosing workouts that stimulate the hormone response, which is why like squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, Romanian deadlifts, like barbell lifts, because they require your body to use so many muscles, your stabilizers and your working muscles. If you have a strong core and you're keeping your core super tight and you're stable, then your legs can fire more, your arms can fire more, everything can fire more off of that core. You're just using so many more muscles, so many more muscle fibers, and you're stimulating such a higher hormone response. And that hormone response is what's telling your body to put on muscle. Otherwise, if you're just breaking down tissue, you're repairing, you'll put on a little bit of muscle. But if you have that anabolic response, that's where you're really going to start to build and put on muscle. So that's something that like a lot of people don't think about either when they're programming their workouts. I mean,
from a guy's standpoint, I understand the testosterone thing, but like you mentioned, 3 times a week or something like for that hormone response.
And
that makes sense because it's different.
Big lifts, like the squats, the deadlifts, barbell bench, barbell row, barbell overhead press, those big lifts. You want to make sure you're doing every week, and then you can do your accessory work on top of that. But you want to make sure you're getting those in.
So, okay, say for the average person that just wants to, kind of get that overall fit look, but mainly they're like, I want a big butt.
Yeah.
Or a toned butt or legs. I'm not trying to be a weirdo and focus on that. I'm just going with what's trendy. You're just looking
at the trends.
Because that's what's popping right now, and I'm just curious. But say, or overall, I guess, but the main focus would be the legs and the glutes.
Yeah.
Say someone only has 30 minutes in the gym. What would you say?
Hip thrusts and Romanian deadlifts.
Say that again?
Hip thrusts and Romanian deadlifts. Barbell hip thrusts, Romanian deadlifts. If you have 30 minutes, you probably want to warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
Do 1 to 2 warm-up sets of each lift before you're actually putting the weight on. And then get 3 really good sets, 8 to 12 reps of hip thrusts, 3 really good sets, 8 to 12 reps of Romanian deadlifts.
Okay.
If you have more time, do a few more sets, but make sure that you warm up so you're able to get to a point where those last couple reps in your working sets you can get through with good form. But it's really challenging, and you could probably only do 1 or 2 more before your form would break. Like, that's how challenging it should be. Not just like, I'm achy, I'm sore, I don't want to do more, but like, I actually can't do more than 1 or 2.
Okay.
And stop 1 or 2 short, because you don't want to get to that point where you compensate or you hurt yourself.
Yeah, you hurt yourself because you're trying to push that one extra.
Right.
And do you, on the
And do that 3 times per week.
3 times. Okay. And then what other you can fit in? What other
Yeah,
stuff?
whatever.
But, on the it's so Paragon, right? I'm just making sure that I say it.
Paragon
online.
Body.
Do you? So I know. And
So,
I'm not trying to give away too much information because I want you to still. Not that this is a crazy popping podcast just yet, but like you still, it's your job,
right?
So I'm not trying to give all the the golden nuggets of information away. But like, is there something on their website that you have? Like, say, hey, this is.
Of like information? No, because I do online nutrition and online training plans, and then all of us, so it's the owner he started at 24. And that's where I met him. So it's him, it's his brother, it's me. We all do personal training, one-on-one personal training. We do some group classes, and then we actually just started doing corporate classes. So we'll go to like Zoom or Fortinet, this new company, Nuvia, and teach classes like stretching classes, full body classes, yoga. We have a yoga and meditation specialist, Sherry, so she'll teach yoga classes. And I don't think she's doing meditation right now.
Interesting.
With the corporate. But we'll go to companies and do classes too. So we do all the fitness, the whole body right now. So
did you say that you do stuff online?
I do stuff online. Yeah, I do online nutrition and online training.
So say someone from a different state, could they?
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's what I wanted to get at. Like, so you're obviously you have to pay for it. It's not like you.
Yeah.
But. Okay, so that's cool. So like in there, like I can put like a link.
I wish I could do it for free, but yeah, got it.
Well, no, I mean you can't do it for free, but like some places they'll have like the smallest amount of information,
and
then
it's like that on my Instagram, like some free stuff.
Okay, so like to kind of get you in the mindset of like if decide if you want to do it or if you're already doing it but you need to get to the next level, head to your Instagram and I'll put it in the notes. And then if you want to actually take it to the next step, do you have your own personal link, or is it they have to go to the page and select a person that they want to do, or do they assign?
They can reach out to me on Instagram and we can set up a consultation, or they can go to the Paragon Body website, but that's going to go through the owner first, and then he'll reach out to me.
So basically hit you up
hit
directly,
me up
because then you can bypass the waiting for the owner to reply and finding like, oh, I want to work with Brianna.
He's fast, but it's still,
it
unnecessary.
takes the extra step of
because I can handle it.
Yeah. So so that'd be the best way.
Yeah, and
just
then
go directly to you.
So I'll do individualized nutrition, like calculate all your macros and give you meal plans, and those change weekly.
So what is something like that? I'm asking for not just for people who are listening, but like I've never ever have looked at costs for like. So how much does that like?
For the nutrition and
what do you charge?
Online training, it's $750 for 12 weeks for a 12-week program.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's like $250 a month. And so you're getting every week, you're checking in with me. We're changing your plan based on your progress, and then also if you're progressing perfectly, we'll change it just to get new food in. Keep it fun and interesting, because you can make so many different combinations of foods work. You don't need to be eating oats and egg whites every single day. So we'll change that weekly. We're checking in weekly. You're getting a workout plan, and you're getting cardio prescription, which will change weekly depending, and then supplements just to fill the gaps. I don't like all of the like extra stuff, but just to make sure you're getting all your micronutrients in. And then if you have specific needs, like low energy or trouble sleeping, anxiety, then I'll recommend like other natural supplements for you. So like people have trouble focusing, the lion's mane, like you're having in your coffee right now.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll recommend that.
And it's
so it's like more now. I'm very like holistic, more natural approach. I don't like all the artificial junk. I want people to feel good naturally and thrive naturally. Okay,
well that's cool. I'll have to text you and get the correct information and stuff. But I mean, your Instagram, I know the link. It's just whatever on. There's like 17 eyes in it.
I made that when I was like 18. That maybe it's time to change my Instagram name. And I used to tag everything Love Life, and I finally was like, I don't think these hashtags are doing anything.
Well, didn't you used to be into like going to raves and stuff?
Yeah.
So there's that.
Like I used to be into like getting hammered every single weekend and drugs.
Earlier in the podcast, I was saying that we were going to talk about it later on. The lifestyle kind of flip.
Yeah, because I think I met you when I was in middle school. I was like 14.
We went. Yeah, how old were you?
I was like in 8th grade or something.
No, like right now.
26.
26.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
been for
27.
Like 12 years.
So I'll be 28 in February. So you're okay. So we high school together.
Yeah, I went to Fremont.
Oh yeah, sorry. Well, okay, at the same time.
We partied together.
Yeah.
Paul McMurray.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
What a time. But do you remember like when it changed?
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, but I was getting like, I don't have a threshold. Like if the alcohol's there, I'll keep drinking it until it's gone. Like I don't have that point that it's like you've had enough. I'm just like, let's keep going. More like I want to feel the burn. I want to feel it.
Right.
And I'm the same way at the gym. Like the only reason I'll leave is because like literally I have to go do things.
Yeah.
So like tonight I'm going to work out. I don't have to do anything
money.
tonight. I'm going to be there probably because I can go and I love to, and I love to feel it. And especially if I'm feeling, I want to keep pushing it. I don't have that point of like, we've done enough. But that's just, I think, in me to keep pushing.
Okay. Yeah.
But
you
I
kind
was
of traded one for the
drinking
other.
a lot and blacking out like 80% of the time.
Oh.
I had 2 purses, 3 phones, 2 cameras stolen from me by like in like the group of friends we were hanging out with.
Yeah.
I was getting like so drunk. I was like fighting with my friends. I like punched one of them in the face once. Then the other one punched me. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was stupid. And like we were hanging out at parks. Like it wasn't going anywhere, obviously. And just when you're a girl and you get into those like drunk situations, it's really dangerous.
Yeah,
and
and it's getting worse and worse. Well,
yeah, I mean,
you just hear more about it, and it's kind of unfortunate.
And it's
or
like
not kind of very unfortunate.
These things like kept happening. Like
you're like,
and I was like, nothing is changing, and I don't remember what's happening. I'm getting so drunk, I have no control. Like the only thing in my control is to just like not drink. But all my friends could drink, and they had that threshold. That was like, okay, I've had enough. And when I wanted to stop drinking, like I got arrested in high school and I was on probation, and then I got a DUI on probation. Like it wasn't getting
stacking it
better. And like,
ouch.
I remember one morning like waking up at a friend's house, and like I thought it was a friend, and all my friends had left, and I had like blacked out, and I looked in my bag, and my phone had been like stolen out of my bag. And just like a bunch of other things had happened that was just like too much, and I was like, I need to just stop. Like felt like such like a loser and like the lowest, like such a like low existence point, I guess you would say. And it really was mostly the alcohol, because that's when you would like drink or do other things. I was all for like other kinds of drugs like shrooms and weed and like mind expanding things, but those are the things that get a bad rap, and everyone's like drinking is fine. For me, like the alcohol was like the dangerous thing, and I needed to stop drinking. But like all my friends wanted to keep drinking, and when I would go hang out with them, and we were drinking like 3 times a week on a school night. Like we had school the next day, and we would still go to school like hungover. And my parents were so mad at me all the time. I had a horrible relationship.
So I'm
with
sure
my
they love that
family.
you're like addicted.
My sister was like, "You were the epitome of a bitch." Like I was not
and that
great
hurts from
human.
coming from like a sibling. Yikes.
Yeah, now because my sister's an angel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad because I was just so angry all the time. I posted something today. I don't know. Yesterday, I was just kind of thinking.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to read it because
it was long, but I was just like angry all the time. I was never happy. I was angry. I was frustrated. I was anxious, and then I would be like content. And I always felt like I needed like something, like alcohol or drugs. I didn't eat well either. But anyways, I decided I didn't want to drink anymore, and like I would kind of like relapse, I guess you would say, and drink because it was always there.
Well,
and it's not fun if you're the only person not drinking.
And boredom, definitely. You get bored. There's been times, and I don't, not to any crazy extent, but you know, I love a good strong IPA or like a good whiskey, you know. And sometimes, you know, like you get bored and you're like, I'll go get a beer. I will say tonight I'm gonna go get a beer or two and edit or something, but I'm not gonna go over.
I love wine tasting now. I've recently decided that if I need to drink to enjoy what's going on, then it's not a good time, and I should fill my time with something that I don't need to drink to enjoy myself. I do like wine tasting. I appreciate like being out and like up in Saratoga. Like Savannah Chanel is so nice, and you're up there and you're on the hill and you have like really nice wine.
Have you done the is it Petaluma?
I haven't done it.
The train.
I haven't. I want to.
Where it's like you just go. It's like a few hours or something, and you're just on there and you're wine tasting, and they give you food and stuff. Like, I want to do that. I don't drink wine a lot.
I'm such like I love trees and nature and the ocean, and like good wine. I don't love big crowds, so like wineries are nice because it's never super crowded. I hate bars.
I don't go around. I don't do it.
I don't do bars. I won't go. Like, I want to be social, and it makes really dating hard.
Sometimes I do, but yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to get drunk, and like, I don't know if I like you enough to like not feel good tomorrow.
I know.
So I have a rule. Like, I'll drink the first time that we're out to just like lubricate.
But like a beer or two over.
But if I have to drink every time, I don't like you enough, and like this isn't gonna work.
Well, yeah, because then it's like, I don't know. I think that's another. Well, besides fitness and all that, like, sometimes I'm like, damn, like. Of course, I can't remember the last time I was in a relationship. Probably high school.
I've never been in
Probably
one.
high school. Like, I'm talking like early high school.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn,
middle
like,
school.
If I match with, of course I'm on the Tinder and
I
the
gave
Bumble.
up on the dating
and I
sites.
haven't been on it in a while, but I'm like, I'll match with someone and I won't even, he'll talk.
That's why,
and then
'cause
I'm
I'm
like,
not
why do I
excited.
want to go out and drink? I'm more of like, is there, like, I wish they had places that you could have dates and it was like a place that you can go cook.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Because I like to cook.
you
but
material?
that's not like a first few date kind of thing.
I know.
That's like you're kind of actually dating and you're like, come over, I'll cook you dinner.
Yeah.
That's different. But like they should have places where you go in and you like, it's almost like a kitchen, but you're not, there's no home attached to it. That would be cool.
Be super cool. And
but I'm like I love movies, the beach.
I need things that stimulate my mind. Like, I can't just like sit and talk about like people. I don't like talking about people and like so-and-so did that. Like, that's just not, it's so annoying.
Gossip, right?
Yeah. I like talking about like concepts and like creating things and like discoveries. Like, look what I discovered. And like, when you do this and like new ideas and like things that make you like grow and evolve. And like with drinking, it lubricates the situation so you feel relaxed, but then the next day you feel lower. So I feel like it's taxing me and it's not giving me anything in return. And that's like what most dates are, and that's what like going out is. And it doesn't do it for me. I'd rather be alone and sit in silence and like think to myself or like read or something than go on like that kind of date. And
another thing is, I mean, the beers that I like to get, I'll get like, later tonight, I'll probably go and get, the bigger size ones. I don't know how much it is.
What are the 40s?
No, and it's not a 40.
That's what
it's like the same height.
Like, I have this much money. I can get 2.5 40s.
Some Edward 40 hands. I did that once with my buddy when I lived in Huntington. It was like 2 months.
I love Huntington.
Love it. It was just him and I, and we were bored. And I was like, "Hey, do you want to play Edward 40 hands?" So it's 2 people, me and him. You have to tape. So he taped me. And I think we went 1-1. So like he taped me, I taped his, he taped my other hand. So we had to try and figure out how we were going to tape his last hand. So like we're holding, like, I think we use duct tape.
See, that's fun because it's creative.
Like, I'm holding like in my teeth this roll of duct tape. Like we started it, got it on the bottle and around his hand sort of, and was like, like moving around like with my mouth, like all these things and trying to like get this wrapped, and kicked his ass. I won.
You kicked his ass?
I didn't have to go to the bathroom once. That was the big thing, because we were like, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch this show. It wouldn't be the end of the world if you had to, and then have it so much easier. You don't really need your hands. We were just watching a show, because we were binge watching some show we started, and I guess I was just like, let's do Edward 40 hands or something. And we did that, and I was like, yes. The biggest part is like going, if you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. How are you gonna?
That's when people start to lose. Or they just can't finish it. But mainly it's because you have to go to the bathroom, and unless you're a wizard and you can figure it out.
Yeah.
But luckily I didn't have to, and I
and
won.
So, like, that's something too. You said you guys were bored. I feel like that is
but that goes
why
off
people
the
drink
booze thing.
usually. And if you go into the drinking because you're bored, like, it's never a good time.
And
but if you go with like you're celebrating something,
that's different.
Then it can be fun.
See, like that's something like I like to do after a podcast. I'll get a beer or something as a like kind of a reward to myself, because like this is totally new. This is, I think, the 6th episode.
Yeah, I kind of looked at you. You haven't been doing this very long.
Yeah, I started like on the 4th or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
So like,
making moves.
No, it's not a 2020 New Year's resolution. I don't believe in that. It was like kind of like
every day
a goal.
Yeah.
More so, because the New Year's resolution things, it's like, why don't you just do it already
when you want to?
It's kind of hard to say it now. I don't like
waiting for things, like now or never.
Yeah. It's hard to say that statement now because we're already in the new year. Like that's okay. It's like, say we're almost at the end of 2020, going in, say we're a month away from 2021, and you're like, what's your New Year's resolution? And you say it. It's like, well, no, why don't you just start it tomorrow or today? Like, just do it. So I like to say more of a goal.
That's such a culture thing.
A goal.
People don't like to think for themselves. Like, that's because it's such a culture thing of like, a lot of people don't think about it. They're like, it's 2020, my New Year's resolutions, because that's what everyone's talking about, and they're not thinking it's how much does that really get you to your goals? It's
for social media. Oh my God, why do I do like a Valley girl accent? What's your New Year's resolution?
What's your New Year's resolution?
Oh my God, post it.
I really
put it on the gram. Yes.
Yeah. It's such a like human thing to do, to kind of like just jump on a bandwagon and not think. Like fitness, you're like, all this information comes out and people are like, drink BCAAs because like it's the thing to do, but nobody like questions it.
Yeah, they'll finish their first protein
asks or why, and like
case, and then they're like, well, I don't want to spend under $30.
And people talk like they know things, like because they heard it and now they know it and it's a fact, and they did no research to figure it out on their own, no experimentation. They're just like, I heard this and like I'm gonna go spread it, now I know a thing. But like you don't, you just
I'm a little guilty on that. So there's some fads that I went on, like, because
you don't seem like it.
Well, okay, not fads, but like from the tour I did, my first month back, I was plant-based.
Yeah.
I just wanted to try it. I wasn't going to claim it.
You're trying it.
I wasn't going to claim it.
Yeah,
but I did it because I watched Game Changers.
Yeah, and no, I'm all for that, trying things.
So I guess, okay, maybe I'm
claiming
guilty in like a weird way.
This is a fact. They hear it and they think it's a fact. And like, if you do research, you'll find out that there are opposing views to that fact. So which one's the real fact? And like, gonna do some research. Like everything has like so many different opinions and views.
Well, yeah.
And
it ranges from person to person.
It ranges from person to person, and I don't know. I like people to think for themselves.
That's true. Just before I forget.
This sounds mean. Like
nah, whatever. The beer thing.
Yeah.
I like to get like one or two nice ones.
Yeah.
And I think it sucks, and it's a good thing that I like expensive, good beer.
No, that's a good thing.
So like,
I'm like that with wine.
The ones I get, if sometimes I'll get one, and that one will be $10 and $15, and sometimes I'll get just two of them, right? Or like one of my favorite beers, Maui Wowie by Altamont. It's a 4 case. It's like the can's like that, so it's not a tall boy like you see the PBR, like the big ones.
Yeah.
So it's like the size of, I'm pointing at, it's Rain, right? Like the energy drink better, thing. Bang is way better.
Copycats never.
Yeah. So it's that size about. So 4 of those, and it's $20. So, but the thing is, I didn't think of it because I was doing it for a reason. I just really like hoppy IPAs.
Yeah.
And those are expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, it's like, well, if I'm spending $20 for 4 beers, those 4 beers, because my tolerance is lower, I'm going to feel pretty good.
Yeah.
But say I don't like good beers or a good taste of beer, and you're drinking, you have to get a 12-pack of PBR or something, you're more likely to gain weight because you're drinking all this beer.
Yeah.
But you're going to spend more money up front on 2 beers that are really good, but you're not going to go past those 2 beers. But you drink a 12 case of PBR, you still might have to go get more beer because you can't get that same
quality.
You might spend $20 on 2 beers that are 10%. But then you get the PBR and it's 4% or something, and that changes.
Ties back to like the workout thing too. You're like, if you have 30 minutes, what's the best use of your time? Yeah. Like, pick those like barbell lifts that are really stimulating hormone production, and you're hitting the muscles you're targeting, and you're going to get the most out of it versus doing all these like cheaper exercises where you're like cable stuff where like you're working the muscle but you're not getting nearly the same.
I love cables.
They're good, but they're
so good.
Mostly I would say like more so accessory when you compare them to like the barbell.
Okay,
and it depends on the cable lift, but like cable pull throughs as opposed to barbell hip thrusts.
It's
barbell
only
hip thrusts you're gonna get more out of than cable pull throughs.
Oh yeah. The only times I really do cables is like a rear delt fly.
Yeah.
But that's like but I still do them with dumbbells.
Don't get me wrong, cables are good.
Yeah, they're great. But I think I'm more like, on my point of like what I do for working out, I pick and pull, but I like that traditional, you know, I like Arnold. My favorite, and who I'm my own person, but my genetics are my own, and I'm gonna look a little different. But what I'm striving for, because I think I look similar, just because I can kind of see that's where I'm going. You know, Greg Plitt.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I don't know. Like you saw my most recent photo.
Yeah. You're getting
it's
there.
Different. It's obviously different because he's fucking Greg Plitt. But I see somewhat of a resemblance, and I'm not saying. I mean, I'm nowhere near where he is, but like that's kind of like in my head. All right, cool. I'm like a mix between Greg Plitt and like Steve Cook.
Yeah, you kind of have like a Steve Cook like face.
Well, I'm blonde and I have blue eyes.
Jax Teller.
Obviously, yeah.
Actually, the way you're dressed right now, like just like Jax Teller.
Oh yeah,
the pullover
black
of Mice and Men, black hoodie, the beanie.
Yeah, jeez.
It's not a bad thing.
No, I know. It could be worse. Let me just get a motorcycle.
Everyone loves Jax Teller.
I know. I just need to do a British accent.
Yeah, I thought it was Boston.
He's British.
Is it Boston accent?
Pretty sure he's like him in real life.
When he does the show, like Sons of Anarchy, there's no accent, but when he talks,
because there's
the accent.
How
do you do that? How do you train your accent? I don't know how people do this.
There's a lot of actors and actresses that are on a show. Like I didn't know that he was.
You couldn't
British
tell until after.
Until I saw an interview, and I didn't know because I was like watching Sons of Anarchy, and I was like.
I love Sons of Anarchy. I was so pissed when Netflix took it off. I've watched it like 5 times. The whole thing.
I'll probably buy when I get my own apartment or something. There's only a few shows that I'll buy like a actual box set.
I don't know what it is about that show that it just feels like home, kind of. There's some shows that feel like home.
It's like
it could be
local.
It is local
to an extent. Like
yeah.
And I don't know, like within
an hour or two.
I think they mentioned like Oakland and
they do
stuff
Oakland.
like that. I don't know, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Oakland's like 40 minutes away.
Yeah,
I never go there. I never really go to the city either.
I don't like it actually. Like it can be okay.
That's all right.
But yeah, it's.
I just don't. There's
nothing that. Yeah, they're like. I'm like, why would I go?
Like,
I'd rather go to Castle Rock or like Saratoga, Big Basin, like nature. Like I'm more of a nature than a city kind of girl.
That's what I'm trying to get into doing more. Is I need to go like camping.
I love camping.
I haven't been.
The
last time I've probably been, and if he doesn't bail on me, he's gonna be on the podcast tomorrow. Eddie Stoner. Yeah, his dumbass.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were supposed to do it.
Yes, that's his real last name.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. We're gonna talk about some stuff. That like, especially because he was doing the Navy stuff. So got some questions about all the crazy shit that's happening now.
Yeah.
What his point is.
Oh my gosh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know but the last time I went camping was with him, and I don't maybe high school.
Did you guys do drugs?
No.
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 It's not a bad thing.
Just the drink.
Nature.
No, we were like.
I get high in nature. I feel that high.
Well, yeah, because being out in the open and you're like detached from your phone.
And you're connected to your vibration.
Yeah. So like, even if it's not camping, like even if I do, I won't do it by myself, but just go to like Tahoe, whether it's snowing or not snowing, I don't care. Get just a sweet Airbnb cabin and just like spend like a long weekend and just like
solo trips.
Do like just bring some workout equipment and there's a video.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like heaven.
And another thing I want to try and do when I start filming, probably more so, but I want to try and do more location,
just like
location podcasts. So like you and me are sitting here at a table, but maybe somewhere down the road, doing one in like the middle of like Tahoe, like say, or like outside of the cabin in Tahoe with the trees and stuff, or like, I saw a photo of someone, they're doing a podcast on a bench, like those, like Santa Cruz, the lighthouse, they had those little paths along the cliff where you can walk and run and stuff. But there's those benches just scattered. Yeah. Anyways, there's people sitting and they were recording a podcast right there. So like in the background, you got like the sound of the ocean, and that's something that would be kind of cool. But I got to figure out like, like, are you gonna be able to hear us? Like, do I have to be like real close?
Yeah.
So,
well, that would be cool if you could hear like a little bit of the ocean.
Well, that's what it'd be cool. You get the environment. So like maybe like record with 2 mics And then you have one other mic that's picking up.
I've been to the ocean, and so that sounds just you mentioning the ocean and just got me like in a zone.
Have you been?
I haven't been in a while.
We shot photos.
Shot?
Like took photos that
when
one.
when we did our
when
photo
was
shoot.
that? Was like a few months.
That was a while ago. That was in like July or something. I don't know. It was June
was a
maybe.
while
It was
ago.
summer. I miss summer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I haven't been, and
We'll have to go again, but it's been just cold.
yeah, it's been cold. But like I
Rain,
like as long as it's not raining.
Well,
when
that
you're
first time
bundled
we
up,
went,
if you have like
it
a
was
hot coffee and like
freezing.
you're walking
Yeah.
on the beach, that's so nice.
We'll just have to figure out what you want to, or well, you'll just have to tell me what you're trying to do.
Yeah, maybe like
more
fitnessy, less bikini.
Yeah, yeah. And I was, I did one on my friend to promote the podcast. I'll probably choose one of the, or I'll ask you which photo you'd like me to use, but I'll probably do something like this. So
that's cool.
I can post it on like
Yeah.
Instagram and stuff like that.
You
So I'll ask you
yeah.
which one.
And if you have any that you think,
Well,
would be
I'll
good.
just ask you which one that you want from the most recent one that we
Okay.
took. Unless there's one from the first one. I'll have to ask you about that. But I just have I mean, unless you have anything else, I just have one.
Oh yeah, actually, because we kind of
Yeah, I know we kind of like
because you'd asked
went on and
what
off of things,
like
but
shifted from like all my like
oh yeah, yeah.
partying ways to the gym, and I think I kind of started touching on it, but first of all, I like lost all my friends because I decided that I wasn't gonna drink anymore, and when I would hang out with them, I kept getting
that's for the
drunk. Yeah,
better then.
yeah. So I got a job. My first job was at Five Guys, like
Ooh.
cashier and sleeping. That was my first job, and
So good.
I was working out, and then I got a job at BJ's, and my freshman year of college was just at De Anza, working out, going to school, working at BJ's, and being like kind of depressed being in this area because I'm like, I'm doing everything right. Like I don't have like a solid friend group. I'm like, and at that age I still thought that like life was about finding your husband, whereas like this point I'm like, yeah, if I find one, awesome. If not, I'll be all right.
Well, yeah, it happened.
I'm
It'll
gonna have a
happen when
good
it
life
happens.
either
So that's
way.
kind of where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
feel
it's
ya.
like I'm happy. So like
Yeah.
if there's someone out there for me, awesome, and if not,
it'll
like
find it. Yeah.
you know, I'm good. But I was getting kind of depressed, and my mom was like, if you want to move to like Southern California to San Diego, your dad and I will support that.
That's cool. That's
And
awesome.
I almost didn't go. I had a therapist at the time, and I almost didn't
Nothing
go.
wrong with that.
And I was telling him about it, and he was like, "I just saw your face light up when you were
Right.
talking about
So,
going."
yeah,
and so
you
I was
do it.
like,
Yeah.
"Yeah," because I for the longest time would kind of like ignore like my natural inclinations
Mm-hmm.
because like I was like, "Oh, society doesn't accept this as okay." Like society kind of looks at you like you have to work hard, you have to earn everything. Like my family was just gonna move me to Southern California.
Right.
It was all I ever wanted.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is just being given to me. Like, do I maybe like not deserve it?" But I
Trying to
decided
find
to just
the
go,
bad in it,
and
yeah.
like take the blessing
Yeah.
and go and do it. And I think it was the best thing that ever happened to
That's
me because
good.
I was on my own, like thinking for myself for the first time, and I started seeing
Grow
life
up a more.
so differently. Like
Yeah.
just these awarenesses would just like flood into me. I was just like tapping into it.
Yeah.
It's like
Interesting.
I never had this when I was like living alone, just like this natural guidance
Mm-hmm.
through me. And ever since then, I've just kind of felt connected to this like natural inner guidance in myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
That I've
makes
kind
sense.
of just followed. And so then I did end up coming back because I wanted to, finish school with the nutrition and
yeah.
everything. And I went to Oregon State and I completely hated it because I didn't see the sun for a year. Switched over to University of Arizona because I had a girlfriend there, and she's like, "You're not gonna have that problem here."
Yeah.
So nice.
No,
Lived completely alone. I lived completely alone, no roommates or anything in Arizona for 2 years. And now that was amazing for me
That's
too. 'Cause I was
nice.
like, I can take care of
Yeah,
myself. My
right.
parents are paying for everything.
You don't gotta worry about
But,
like, hey,
yeah, it
clean
was-
your dishes.
Exactly. And I was doing my dishes. I was cooking for myself. And I was cooking for myself every single day. I
Well,
wasn't
that's-
going
yeah.
out to eat. I was doing all my shopping, organic, cooking for myself every single day, doing the gym, doing school.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? I'm like really happy, and I'm doing it completely
That's
on my
awesome.
own, minus the finances.
Well, yeah, but I mean, and not a lot of people can have that aspect, but if you do, it's like, well, that's who cares? Like,
Yeah,
that- it
I thought
helped
that
you
was
out.
cool because people were like,
if
really,
you-
you live alone? Like, how depressing.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I
No.
love it. And
Yeah.
I thought that, like, if you can be happy being completely alone, like, that's so cool, then you can only
Then
go
you-
up from there.
Exactly. I think that's a little bit like me. I want to. It's just hard to here, at least, to afford
And I think you just
for yourself.
Here it's so hard. Yeah. I mean, I'm living with my parents because it's affordable.
Yeah, that's way better. Like,
save money. The Bay Area is insane.
It's stupid. I think it's like, like $2,000 at least or something for like a 1-bedroom, 1 bath.
Not
like
great.
I'm like studio style. It's like, jeez. I think it's like you have to make like over $30 an hour to be able to afford.
And working full time.
Full time at like 30 an hour, I think. And I don't even think that's to get a house.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
It's something, I don't know, like, but like the standard house is over $1 million easy.
Yeah.
Like if you're $1 million, you're like, okay, cool.
You're like
that's the standard. Yeah. Almost like if there's a house that's under $1 million, it's like, all right, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Who died there? Like, what's going on?
It's insane.
And I don't know. And it sucks because we're so
crazy.
Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Texas would sound cool.
Texas,
but now it's just going to get like this. It's just going to get like California because everyone from California is moving to Texas.
Yeah, but Southern California is like, because I've lived there and it's cheaper than it is here.
Southern
California,
yeah,
like San Diego is way like the rent's cheaper. I was paying like $1,000 for when I was in San Diego.
Oh, really?
It was a 2-bedroom, so I had 2 roommates that shared a room, and then I had my own room, and it was about a little over $1,000 a month for
that's
that.
Not bad.
Yeah, and there was a gym, and it was. Was
there a sauna?
Nice. Was there a sauna? There was a tanning bed.
Okay.
I don't think there was a sauna. But I had a sauna in Oregon, in my apartment in Oregon. It was like brand new.
Because it's so cold and
that was something
raining.
Too. Like my apartment in Arizona or in San Diego was kind of shitty. And my apartment in Oregon was like brand new, just built. I had my own bedroom. It was like a house. It was like a townhouse.
Oh, okay.
It was 3 stories. I had my 2 roommates on top, and then me and a roommate, and then we had our downstairs kitchen area. Brand new. I had a balcony. There's like all these trees. Brand new gym. Like 2-story gym. There's cardio equipment upstairs. There's weights downstairs. There is a sauna. And there's a pool, and like the pool has lights, and there's a hot tub. It was so nice, and I was fucking depressed because I wasn't seeing the sun. I was so
I gotta
miserable in Oregon. I was like, who cares how nice your stuff is? Like, I need simple things. I need the sun. I need my workouts, and I need like the energy because it was Corvallis is in the middle of nowhere. It's Oregon, and people are like, the culture there. There's like the California, even though it's like. You and I probably look at it and it's like, oh, there's all this junk food everywhere. It's pretty healthy compared to like Oregon. Like you couldn't find like healthy restaurants. Like
really,
at least in Corvallis. I think Portland's a little different. Portland is like hippie and it has more healthy things. But like Corvallis, I felt so isolated and I felt so alone and miserable. I was like, that was the first time I was like ever actually depressed. And like I would wake up in the morning, remember where I was, and start crying. And I was like crying in the shower, crying, walking to class, and it's raining and it's freezing cold. And I'm crying and like taking this test and I'm just like crying. I couldn't help it. The test wasn't hard, but I'm like crying. The proctors are probably like, what the fuck is wrong with her? It's not a hard test.
Yeah.
But I was just like crying and I couldn't focus and I was like, I would have to like be mid-set at the gym. I was working out at this bodybuilding gym and they weren't that nice. The owner like wasn't that nice, and I would be like mid-set and just like start crying and have to like go into the bathroom, and this would happen like every single day and just like in my car crying.
Get out of that place.
And I was like, what do I do? And like working out and eating healthy got me through it, I think, because I still went to I never let that not let me go to the gym or not eat healthy. So I had that strength there. I got through my classes for the most part. I feel like I would have been a lot better if like I was mentally there.
But you still got through it.
Yeah.
With
and
the
then
help from
moved over to Arizona and then I loved Arizona. Yeah. Nice. It was nice.
So definitely you'd say that like the change in your eating lifestyle and the fitness like change, well, okay, not in like a, what would you say, cliche way or sappy, but it changed your life.
I'm not 100%. I'm not trying to, I didn't know what it felt like to like feel alive before I started eating healthy and lifting and doing cardio. And I always knew that I wanted to eat healthy. Like as a kid, I wouldn't touch vegetables. I loved sugar and white stuff. I liked pizza without sauce. Like I was.
Well, that's the USA.
Sugar. I was so unhealthy, and diet. Like Coke and Monsters and I prided myself off of like liking to sit as a hobby, and me and my friends would get like cupcakes and burgers and just eating all these like simple pleasure things and like not being like happy or alive. I think that was also part of the reason why I always wanted like drugs or something to like feel alive, because I like always wanted to feel, and I always knew that that being healthy was important. And I had anxiety and ADHD, and I think that was from the way I was eating and not working out. I was on birth control too, like all these things that aren't good for you.
Just
and
all of that together
and they gave me medications too, and they would feel cool like a drug at first, and then I would feel weird. And I just always believed in like natural, like I just inherently always believed that natural was the way to go. And so I stopped taking those, and once I started eating healthy and lifting and doing cardio and having that balance and doing it for a while, I started waking up in the morning and being like, wait, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to wake up this morning. And I used to think that you needed, like, a boy to do that for you. Like, because you need to have a crush. That's what would make you excited.
No, yeah.
And there was no boys excited. Even one day I just, like, woke up in the morning and I was like, I'm excited. Like, life feels good.
When
and
you
I was like,
I
woke up to, like, myself.
When you can get that feeling on your own.
Yeah.
By simply, just as an example, like going to the gym. Like waking up and, I mean, you usually go at night, right? To the gym?
Now, yeah.
But, you know, it's the same. I mean, whether you go at night.
I started in the morning.
Yeah,
when I first started with fitness, it was first thing in the morning.
So whether you're going at night or for me waking up, it's like getting that feeling that usually you're told that comes from, you know, liking someone or a guy or a girl.
Making a lot of money, having a super nice house.
All these things.
Superficial
when realistically, just waking up and getting excited to go to the... Even if you're not excited, once you get moving... Then you're like, damn. And then what's even better is the feeling you have after.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
oh my God,
like today I didn't want to, I was not hungover, but I had a headache because I was dehydrated from the vodka.
Yeah.
And I only had like three shots and one 805 talking. Wasn't a lot, but enough for me to wake up with a slight headache.
Yeah. Makes
and
sense.
I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
I sat there for a second and I was like, I don't want to go. Like, and I almost didn't. And I was like, you're already awake.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to, because I knew we had and what I think helped also get me there was that we had this podcast. I think if this was later, like say if we started it now, like it's 1:48.
Yeah.
So say we started at 1 o'clock or 2, I probably would have slept in. Like tomorrow I might sleep in a little bit and go to the gym later. But I
don't
think
you feel
having
better
it help,
getting up earlier?
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's the sun cycles.
And starting it, especially for me, waking up and first thing I do is go to the gym. I really, really like starting my day off like really uncomfortable because then it just sets like, okay, well, fuck, it's 6:30 in the morning and I'm exhausted. Or not exhausted, but you know you're tired, and then you're like, it's gonna be cold outside, and I have to like. I make it a point to like leave within 30 minutes of waking up.
Yeah, that's good.
So get dressed, get my thoughts together and leave. But it's like, you're uncomfortable. You know, as the minutes go by, you wake up a little bit more. But those first 5 minutes, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Like, no, what are you doing? Like, your body doesn't like it, wants more sleep.
Yeah.
But starting your day off uncomfortable and then going into the gym and taxing your body, making you feel even more uncomfortable.
And then you're
what's the rest of your day?
And you get the endorphins kicking in when you're done with that. So you feel not great. Only was that the hardest part of your day, but now you get a boost because of it.
Unless something really shitty happens in your day, I understand, but there's not much else that a normal day could be worse than going into the gym and like making yourself turn into a tomato by
and you realize that you can just handle shit. Like if the things happen, they don't like negatively affect you because you're like, I can handle it and it doesn't define me. And I think something about working out too and like forcing your body to do things and like tap into it. And of course there's only so much your body can do at a given time, but it makes you realize that you're not your body and you're this being inside your body. And like, that's a high too, to like realize there's so much more to this life than like most people are just like so focused on these little things that aren't like real and like really and don't really matter. And they forget there's this whole world inside of us. And we all have these like things that I really think that we're like here to do.
Well, yeah. And it's like another thing that I kind of use and it'll pop into my head randomly. But that's all. Something that pops into my head maybe once a week, and I can't tell you. Someday might be Monday, maybe the next day it'll be Sunday. I don't know. Sometimes I get this weird little, it's not weird, but a thought where I'm like, all right, I only have one life. I'm not gonna say YOLO. Well, even I just did, but I don't want to spend this one life like unhealthy.
Exactly.
Because then, you know, it involves your health, and I want to be healthy. Yes, it's amazing and awesome that I get to also like gradually start looking really good.
Yeah.
That's like
It's a plus.
that's like your reward, I guess. But it's just like,
It's from
I
the
don't want to
inside
spend,
out.
yeah, I don't want to spend this whole life that I have, that I only have one of, kind of miserable, you know, down on myself because I don't feel like spending 20 minutes in the gym. I mean, doing something like 30
Yeah.
minutes, like anything at all. I mean, why? There's no reason why you shouldn't, unless, I mean, if you don't have money to do it.
Well, people don't realize until they've done it. Like, you
Yeah.
have to, like, genuinely, like...
That's the hardest
'cause,
part.
like, when I first started working out, I didn't know what it felt like to feel good. I just knew, like, I'm not being healthy and I want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And this is what you need to do to be healthy. And, like, that was my thought process. I had no idea how good I was going to start feeling. Like, I was like,
It's
oh
crazy.
my God. And,
Yeah.
like,
And then you get
this
addicted
is, like,
to it.
ecstasy and it's natural. And this
Yeah,
is,
it's
like,
insane.
my body's natural state.
Right.
It's how it should be operating. Your body doesn't want, like, all the junk processed stuff that's,
Yeah.
like, not real to it. It's an artificial, like, foreign substance. But, like, real food and movement, like, that's natural. That's what humans were, like, created
Yeah.
to do. If you're so far removed from that, because you're not moving, you're sitting all day in a desk and, like, these awkward positions for your skeletal system in your body, and you're eating, like, donuts and, like, all these chemicals and, like, food that's not real. Like, you're so
Yeah.
far removed from, like, who you're, like, supposed to be as a human.
Yeah. That's who you've made
And you're,
yourself
like,
to
pulled-
be,
and
but
then-
that's not who you're,
Yeah, like,
you know.
that's not how we're designed
No.
to be. And it's
Like, we're badass
we're
creatures.
badass creatures.
Like, we're
And,
some savages. Like,
real food is building blocks for
Yeah.
our body and, like, energy. And you can, when you're eating, like donuts and stuff, you maybe get, like, the sugar spike, but you're not getting, like, real energy. You're getting,
Yeah,
like,
it's fake.
toxins really
It's
that your
fake,
body has
yeah.
to, like, get rid of and, like, fight. Whereas when you're eating, like,
Yeah.
vegetables, you're getting, like, life force energy.
Yeah, and of course, I'm not talking about going into the gym. Like, we're, you know, different from, like, we like to go hard in the gym, and we have a certain goal and what we
Yeah.
want to do. We're not like the typical, like, I just want to go in and maintain, like, just be healthy, which I'd say over 50%. I'd say like 70% of people in the gym.
Everyone I've ever worked with that's had that mindset, though, has, like, reached their goal of maintenance, and they're like, what's next? Like,
See, but
it's
that's the
human
thing.
nature to want to, like, grow and evolve.
See, but that's the thing. It's like, I know we're on a different kind of level, not trying to, like, boast or anything, but
We've
that's just,
worked past
that's what we
that,
like.
yeah.
We like to go
It's
in
been a
there and,
while.
like, I mean, I've been in the gym with my buddy and at 24, and I've got myself, you know, like, to the point of, like, puking, you know, like, I know that's a little, that's whatever, I don't care. But, you know, like, that's a different
Actually,
level,
never
but go
have.
in there
Never
and at
puked
least
at the
try
gym.
and, like, even if you go in there for 20 minutes and you're just, like, walking on an incline, like, that's more than sitting on your ass
Exactly.
and sleeping in for an extra 30 minutes, which,
But the harder you push, the more the reward of, like, feeling good
yeah.
it comes.
But that's the thing. It's like, okay, say you did a couple weeks of, you're just walking on the treadmill from someone who just started getting a gym membership,
That's
and you
huge.
did like 20 minutes on the, you know, the elliptical or something, or Stairmaster, and then that third week or something, you're like, all right, let's do an hour, and
Yeah.
then maybe that hour goes by and be like, this is boring. Like, I'll go pick up some weights, like. And then before you
Evolution.
know it, you have a personal trainer and or something like that for, you know, a few weeks, and then it just progresses.
There's a reason
And it's
why
up
we
to
look
you to
at, like,
continue.
super fit bodies and we think that they're, like, sexy or attractive. It's because
Well, the
our bodies
dedication that-
recognize it as, like, a healthy thing.
yeah,
And that
all the hard work. That
yeah,
goes
all the
into
hard
it.
work that
Like,
goes into it, and what that means, like internally, really, like, on in their bodies. Like, you look at a super ripped man, and, like, I'm just a woman, so I'm talking from my perspective.
Of course.
And you think it's sexy. It's not because that just look is sexy. Like,
Well,
what
there
makes
is-
us
yeah.
think that looks sexy as
There's a
opposed to
visual
fat
appeal,
looking
but-
sexy? There is a visual appeal, but
But
that
there's more.
the visual appeal exists because
you know,
we inherently know that, okay, that means that they're
took a
eating
lot of
well,
work.
that they're moving well, they're pushing themselves, that took time, that took discipline, that took dedication.
Yeah.
There's so much, it's everything that goes into it, and that's a visual representation. So it actually really pisses me off when people are like, oh, you just want to look good, or, like, fitness is
Exactly,
like
right.
superficial. Like, it's really not like that. The visual representation is superficial, but it means so much more than
Yeah.
just, like, shredded abs. And so I actually get a little bit, like, irritated by people that
I
think
can understand that. Yeah. Well, like I said, like a couple minutes ago, it's like the looking good part. At least to me, it's like that's just kind of the icing on the
It
cake.
comes with-
like that's
yeah.
great. Like that's cool. I mean, sometimes you change how you do certain things because you're trying to like change things, but like.
But those are like
it's
the
not
minor things.
why I'm doing it.
Right.
So I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Just before I forget,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask. I'm still trying to figure out it's all fitness. So it all goes together. But yeah, I need to buy that coffee, by the way. That stuff's good.
The Ohm brand.
Yeah.
It's not just lion's mane. So they have like reishi, chaga, cordyceps.
Chaga,
for, like,
the one I
different
heard
things.
about.
There's some I forgot which one just for like performance, but there's a performance one. They have like 15 different kinds at Sprouts.
Because there was one that I was hearing about on one of the podcasts where it had like, it was the lion's mane with chaga and stuff like this. But yeah, I need to buy some. It's really good. But I'm still trying to figure out what's best for me on cardio.
What are you doing right now?
I don't necessarily like to run, but that's a lot of right now because I'm heavy, and like there's a power lifter or a strongman guy. His name is Robert Oberst or something like that.
Oh yeah, I've heard
He's
of him.
from Santa Cruz actually. He's one of the main guys, and he was talking about like. Actually, I have this completely wrong. It's the Laird Hamilton guy. He was talking about like if you're over like a certain weight, like for example, I think it was around like 140, 150, you shouldn't really be running unless you need to run because that amount of weight on your unless you like do certain. I mean, obviously you kind of need to do something to build up, but
like is it heavy upper body or is it heavy your lower body?
So that's the thing. I'm trying to figure it out because when I do start to run more, I do get my shins start to. So like I try and stay away from that. I've been doing more of
I love the
longer walks at an incline, like a 2.5 speed, maybe 3, but at like a 6 and a 9 above.
Do you like
incline.
the Stairmaster?
I do. I can't go for a long time just because it does insane. It's fucked. I hate that machine because it's so good. But
so then maybe that's where you should start because it's hard, and then do what you can.
What I've been doing is, and I've adapted it from the Corey Gregory guy. He mainly just goes by Corey G, but that sounds better. Corey G instead of Gregory. Whatever.
That sounds cool. Corey G.
He doesn't run or do his only cardio or conditioning is lunging. So I think every day he's lunging. I think 400 to 800 meters.
Fuck yeah, if you can.
So it's crazy. Like, but I did it on the treadmill.
Skyrocket your heart rate.
So he was saying that it's insane for your metabolism, like which obviously includes losing body fat.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to do it on the what's it called, treadmill.
Lunging.
And I've been doing it because I don't have time to go from the gym to Homestead, the high school.
Well, if you could take some dumbbells and like lunge with dumbbells or kettlebells.
I have a weight vest.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Those the ones that they have on the CrossFit game, the same brand. So it's awesome.
And that's what you're using?
So I might need to just do it on the where the rowing machines are?
Yeah.
On the bottom. By the entrance. I might just need to go back and forth for like
or use
15 minutes
the treadmill,
or something.
Right?
It's a little weird
because
you have to go kind of at an incline. It's just a little weird, but I did yesterday and the day before, and I'm like, it's almost like I did squats. Like my quads are.
I love that.
Just on fire. So I'm like trying
so
to do
good for your hormone production.
But right now, yeah, because it's just it's your legs, so it's firing up your legs. But so like. I guess
and that's something to make sure that you don't skip lifts because you're like achy like that because your hormones are on fire. So keep working it and just maximize that.
But obviously the running part is a little hard. I've recently been also liking the ski erg.
I've never heard of that.
It's the thing that it's like.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what it's called.
It's like the handles for obviously you know what I'm talking about, but from audio it's the handles and you pull down like you're skiing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'll do like 3 or 4 sets, 30-second sprint.
Nice.
And that's cool because it's
work your upper body hit. Yeah.
That's good because I think I'm thinking more of that just quickness, and there's no impact obviously. But as far as my goal of, I need to lose body fat, which that will do, but isn't there the stigma of running and stuff like high intense stuff like that it'll dig into your muscle gains. Is that true?
So,
I don't know.
With cardio, you're burning. So there's different systems that you're running, and the weight training, simulates a certain system and hormone production, right? And then when you're doing cardio, it changes the hormone production. It is less of the build muscle and more of the catabolic like burn.
Yeah.
So HIIT training stimulates the hormone profile that tells your body to keep muscle and burn fat. So if you're going to do cardio, that's why I don't like steady state cardio unless you don't have the cardio capacity to do HIIT yet. Like if you're new, you want to start with steady state because HIIT's going to be too much for you. But for someone who's been doing cardio, you have a strong cardiovascular system, I think you should always do HIIT. That's all I do. I don't do steady state cardio.
So like the only steady state cardio that makes sense is lunges. Because you're using body weight and you're pushing. Instead of running, it's impact.
Yeah.
But you're just, you're taxing your, what was it? Your like the different system,
systems,
whatever. Yeah. But the lunges, it's like you're going slow, but you're using body weight to pick
muscle
yourself.
If it thinks it needs muscle, and it burns fat because it's like we need more energy. So as long as you're giving your body enough of the protein it needs, enough sleep, and you're not like if you're trying to burn fat, you're probably at a little bit of a deficit as long as it's not so crazy. Because when you really start to cut into muscle gains is when you lose weight too fast or when you are already super lean because your body has like that healthy threshold. But if you have like 100 pounds of, fat to lose, you can be at a pretty low deficit as long as you're getting enough protein and you're using your muscles and still maintain most of your muscle mass because your body's not dumb. It realizes that it has all this extra fat. You just, as long as it knows it needs to keep the muscle, it doesn't want to burn it unless it has to. So if you're super, super lean and dieting, that's usually when you'll see more of the percentage of muscle loss because where is it going to pull from? You only have so much fat and your body doesn't need
So then that's
fat.
when you taper off of doing, you change your cardio or don't do it.
Yeah, I would say
do
things
like lunges,
change a little bit more, but that's only if you're like super, super lean. So for like the average person who has a solid amount of fat to lose, just get your metabolism going. You're going to, and do your weight training and get your metabolism going. You're going to maintain the most muscle and burn the most fat. So I think HIIT training is I tell everyone to do HIIT. There's really, unless you don't have a strong enough cardiovascular system, you're new to it, or you were off for a while, you need to jump, slowly get back and then start with steady state. But if you have a solid cardiovascular system, do HIIT. There's no reason against it.
Yeah, because I'm trying
to
win
eat more if you're already lean enough. Just eat more.
I'm trying to win that Rolex, and I think it's in like 2 months.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
do your HIIT.
But the thing is, and I think this is I sort of had points in my head that I wanted to bring up, and this was definitely like the last one. I think there's 2 months. I'll just say 2 months left. Should I be doing HIIT the entire time, or should I like half of
it the whole time?
Just do it the whole time.
And if you've never
almost like
done
a
it
mini
before,
bulk, and then
is that what you were doing?
Well, not really. I was kind of just doing the cardio every day, pretty much. But like,
it's a myth that you can't gain muscle and burn fat at the same time. You can. You just have to make sure that you're having enough protein, and that your calories, if you're trying to burn fat, you're going to want to be in a slight deficit, right?
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're working all your muscles to maintain them, and you're pushing hard enough. And if you want to grow, you're pushing hard.
You want it to show through when you do lose that.
Right,
you don't want to lose body fat and just be a twig.
Right. And you want to gain muscle, you want 1.4 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. You should write that down.
I mean, because there's that stuff, it's all over the internet.
Well, that's what you learned in school.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I guarantee you,
learn that in my sports nutrition
this year
class
alone, and we're just beginning. I think for my body weight, that on the app,
I checked it.
Culture, it was
that's
160.
Where it was. You're within that range.
And
of the
when I was
1.4
talking to one of the personal trainers that my buddy and I know at 24, Nicole.
Oh yeah,
love her.
Levy.
I don't know her last name. She's not old, but the
she's
older woman.
Yeah.
Amazing. She gives Jason and I messed up things to do. Like she likes to like fuck us with exercises. That sounds so weird.
No bullshit kind of girl.
But we were talking, and my buddy, he's like 160 ish, but he looks heavier than he does, not in a bad way. And people always are surprised that like I weigh how much I weigh, I think I was closer to 180, 190 grams of protein. So, but the fact that I think she did the math on my buddy, like what do? You times
1.4 to 2 grams per kilogram. And that's lean body weight.
1.4
to 2 grams per kilogram. And that's lean body weight.
Grams per. So yeah, I think she did something with his weight, and it was like 160, it was something around the lower, 160, 170.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I got a good 20 pounds on him. Okay, I'm probably closer to 200. So I usually stay towards that end.
Most people think you need a gram per pound, and that's not wrong. You can, like, it's a range,
I've seen
right?
that
1.4 to 2 grams per kilogram is a range, and the 2 grams per kilogram is close to a gram per pound. It's a little less. The 1 gram per pound is more than you need, so that's not necessarily going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Generally, 2.5 grams per kilogram is the max safe, and then once you start going over that,
empty stuff.
It's just there's less
Pointless?
evidence of like safety. Like, this is what we know is to be safe, that max 2.5. And yeah, once you go over the 1.4 to 2 grams for like a generally healthy person, you're probably just wasting it. And when you see people using these insane amounts of protein, your body's just going to try to turn it into carbs. It's hard on the liver.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
And so it's unnecessary. And why tax your liver? Because we have life force energy too. If your liver is being taxed, that's life force energy that's not going to go to your other organs and areas that it could be used. So it's wasteful. Like, you wouldn't spend a bunch of money on, like, if you can get beer for $3, you're not going to spend $5 for the exact same beer. It's a waste of money. You're throwing money away.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Yeah, I'll have to. I have the app and it said 160, and I'm at 197.
Good. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. Actually, that might not be. Well, maybe it is. That's going based off of my body fat being 28%. I'm not 20. I can't be 28%.
Well, yeah, because you want to know your lean mass. So what do you think your body fat is?
I don't know.
Guess.
That's why I was talking about how I want to try and get like a DEXA scan so I know. Or just get calipers.
It could be like 20%, 17.
I'd say on the higher, or like, being safe, I'll say 20.
20%? And how much do you weigh?
197. That was as of this morning, 197.
Oops.
And I think when I did that, I said it was like almost a little over 208. Or sorry, 198. Fuck.
So minimum 100 grams of protein.
See, it changes differently, completely.
But that's minimum.
Like minimum, yeah.
And then...
So I could probably still stick with 160 then.
And 143, so then 160. So if you're 197... that would be 157.6 lean mass.
Oh.
And so then your kilograms of lean mass is 71.6. So we'll call that about 72. If you're doing 160 divided by 72, that's 2.2. So you're still under that 2.5 grams per kilogram. So that's still a safe range.
So I can still stay at the 160.
A little bit more than you need, but
it's not over that.
It's not over that. Yeah,
it's
in a healthy range for sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm actually glad that Steve Cook does it like that, because a lot of the bodybuilders give you insane amounts of protein. I'm like, that is so much more than you need.
Right.
But that's textbook.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He knows his shit. All of them know their shit.
They don't all know their shit.
Well, okay.
Steve Cook knows their shit.
He does.
But they don't all.
Like the Corey Gregory guy. Well, unfortunately, Greg Plitt isn't alive. R.I.P. He was amazing. Don't try and outrun trains.
I know.
Savage, though.
Savage.
Some of the best motivational quotes ever. It's pretty good.
I feel bad for the poor conductor.
What if they were like, yeah, bring it on, fucker, let's race, let's go.
I doubt it. They're probably like, what is this person doing? Because they can't control it at that point.
That's scary. You got anything else? I don't know. We're running 2 hours and 9 minutes. I'm not editing shit. I don't edit.
You don't edit?
I throw on the beginning track.
You don't cut some of the things if I said something a little bit.
Like what?
Like the ketone thing that I...
well, no, you fact checked yourself and you did certain
used the
things.
Wrong word.
But then you corrected yourself.
Yeah.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
That's one thing that I don't want to edit things.
A 2-hour podcast is a long time.
Right? It flew by. I was like checking it. I was like, wait, what? Holy shit. No, but about it, I don't, unless something were to like, say you or I said something that was like really too sensitive for something, like I'm talking like political or something of that nature, then I would just probably cut it completely out.
Yeah, there was something I said that I was like, I hope that didn't sound mean. I don't even remember what it was now. But
No.
you'll listen to it first, right?
Maybe. No, we talked about everything that, fitness realm with nutrition, some of, throwback stuff, but that was lightly touched on. But it's like, it's nothing that's never been said before. Well, not by last name, who could, know specifically. Yeah. But yeah, no, the fact that I don't want to edit because then it just seems like too composed, Okay. And it's just a conversation. We could have had the same conversation but not recorded.
True.
So.
Facts.
Yeah. So,
Well, it just doesn't sound good when I don't know just the ketone thing. Just cut the part where it said it was ketones.
You just mixed up one of the words.
The words, yeah.
No,
well, it actually makes a big difference, though.
Well, yeah, but you fact checked yourself.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you said instead?
Yeah, I said that. Well, I was saying if you're under 130 grams of carbs, that's what your brain needs to function. About 130, 150. If you're under that, then your body will make ketones for your brain to run off of, because your brain can only run on carbs or ketones, but that's not true. It'll make carbs for your brain to run off. The ketone is a lower carb if you're getting a lower amount of carbs, something like 30 grams, something like that.
You corrected yourself, and then you just said it again.
Yeah.
So you're good.
Okay.
Don't worry. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I just trying to keep it going. It's just a conversation. Okay. If maybe it was a shorter one and we were like hitting certain points, well, you do what you do. You're good at it. And you make money. You're professional. Okay. Some people are not going to agree. Like you could have said that exactly true to what you've learned, and someone somewhere is going to be like, bullshit.
Yeah.
Even if you're by the book, right? Like it doesn't matter. Someone's going to have an opinion. That's otherwise. True. So, fuck it. I think we're pretty good. I don't have anything else to watch.
I'm gonna get home and be like, Danny, we forgot to talk about this.
Right. Well, that's the cool thing.
Maybe another podcast.
Yeah. Maybe I'm all about having return people. I had my brother on again. I still haven't done my other one.
What's he doing, your brother?
So Michael, the middle one.
Yeah.
Real estate. And then Nick, the youngest one, who was on my very first podcast episode. He's going to De Anza now playing baseball.
Okay. Good for him.
We had a second episode, and I put it up, and it was up for like an hour, and I listened to it, and I wasn't drunk, but I was tipsy, and we were having a conversation about some certain things, and I just kept it was just a big circle.
Yeah.
Where I was listening to it back on the way to work, and I was like, bro, he described something to you, and you pretty much agreed, and then tried challenging it, and then agreed, and then brought it up again. I went in this circle of trying to make it make more sense.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
That's so frustrating when in your head you know what you're
back.
trying to say and trying to express and it's not coming out that way. Very frustrating.
Yeah. So listening back, and it was one of those where I was bored, he was bored, and I was having a beer. I was like, hey, you want to do a podcast? Let's go. Yeah. And we recorded it. It was fun just to talk. Yeah. And I put it up. And I was like, this is I don't know. And I don't mind the cussing or anything, but there was some hard F-bombs that it was almost
I really try not to cuss anymore.
Yeah.
Because when I hear myself say it, I almost cringe ew, Brianna.
It's so fun.
It depends on the people. Me and my sister will cuss.
Me and my sister I don't abuse it, but it's,
be obnoxious with your family. But when I hear myself accidentally say it in public, I'm like, ooh, I cringe. I'm like,
there's
why did I say
there's a
that?
time and a place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Public, sometimes I'm like, you have to do that?
Not necessary.
I don't know. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We're 2 hours and 14 minutes.
A lot in there.
And we will think about today other things that we probably should have brought up.
That's for next time. Bullet points.
And I know we had a pretty solid idea of what we were talking about. We jumped around quite a bit. Yeah, I tried.
The space heater, thank you.
Yeah, I tried.
I'm chronically cold.
But yeah, I think we got a lot of good information. That's what I want to do for this podcast. It's a bunch of random shit,
I
but
love
also
it.
stuff
That's
that
fun.
people can kind of
Hopefully helps a little
learn
bit.
from. And also, well, I wanted to, one, because I want to get guests on and talk, and I want to get better at it because just whatever.
do a
Getting
lot with
with
it.
people and talking is awesome. And it's just, I think it's good for your brain. And
It's
your
so
mind,
good for your
mind.
brain. Oh my
so
gosh.
doing that, but there was things that I actually, being selfish, wanted to learn about nutrition and stuff like that from you. But I was like, well,
Did you
if
learn
I
them?
want to know
Did I do my job?
yeah, you did. When I go back, and I'll have to listen to it and write certain things down. But I'm like, if I want to learn these things, there's definitely going to be some people out there that will take benefit from what we talked about.
We should
So,
like put out on Instagram that we're gonna do another one, like what they're
Yeah.
ask people to ask us questions.
well,
and
that's
then we
what I
can
want to do.
cover them.
There's a thing on this. So, I run all of this through a thing called anchor.fm.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So what they do is I upload the episode and I select which, right now I only have the one sponsor from them. While I grow, then they'll start sending me more, but add my sponsor to it. And then, I just press publish and it distributes to, I think right now it's on 8 platforms, but mainly the ones I pay attention to are Apple Podcast, Spotify, the Google one. I don't know what it's called, but there's other websites that are just podcasts. So they do all that for me, and the revenue that I make and all this stuff all gets on this one domain. So I'm not going to Apple uploading, not going to each individual one and doing all these
Do you make money
things.
podcasting?
Yeah, it's obviously because I'm just getting started. It's not
Lucrative.
I'm not going to quit my job anytime soon. And that's not why I'm necessarily doing it. If this could turn into a thing,
podcasting.
well, Joe Rogan makes a
well, it's with sponsors and stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, he could. I don't know. He just makes an insane amount of money doing it. But if this were to be able to turn into a job, I would do it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
It's
I like
fun,
doing
and you
it.
get to learn, and you get to talk and human
And
interaction.
if it does turn into, I think the goal is if it can support its own. Like eventually, I need to get new mics and some extra little production tools. If it can just provide things for its own thing to survive, that's great. If it makes me extra money on the side, that's great. But that's not what I'm doing it. So yeah. But yeah, I'll have to ask you on which photo do you like me to use, because I'd like to post on the story and then on my page. Okay. Because I have a legit, well, whichever photo you want me to use. But in the caption, I can say we'll do something again. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe we'll have someone else within. Maybe we'll get Eddie on one too. So like a talk.
The 3 of us. That would be so
And I was
fun.
telling him, not him, my brother. I have an idea for a different podcast that I want to make. It would be called Beers and Barbells. So you sit down and you just, say it was us again and Eddie and maybe my brother. It's like we're all just, whether it doesn't have to. I guess it doesn't have to be beer. I'm gonna be doing beers, but you sit down and some of it could be talking about what beer you're like drinking, like almost starting off by like yo, what beer you got there, like, and then what you're talking about fitness, so like almost two opposites, like
that sounds fun. Fitness and we're drinking
but
beer.
you start getting buzzed
There's
and
like some
start talking
podcasts that
shit,
do that.
like, so, or I don't know, you like wine,
I would probably
maybe
do
we can do a late night one where we just have like a glass of wine or something. I'll just call you an Uber.
Fun and I don't live far. I live like 6 minutes away, so that'd be very, very affordable. Make it fun and like taste different wines.
Yeah, we can even do it on this one. Maybe maybe next time we do one on here, we can plan it on like a whatever night works for you. Weekends definitely.
If I'm not a huge drinker.
Something where we
usually have things to do.
I mean, I'm not trying to get. I'm talking like a glass or two. Nothing crazy. But yeah, got some ideas. So I don't know.
I like it.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I was kind of nervous because like the people I've talked to so far, like we're friends obviously, but we don't. Besides the gym and like the photo shoot, the 2 photo shoots we've had, we don't really
talk that much.
But let's see.
We're busy.
Besides my brother, I did one by myself or whatever. and two others. I've known them for quite some time. I've been on tour with them.
Yeah.
I've spent days with them. Like I've, went through some shit with them.
Yeah.
So like it's different. So in a way I was a little bit anxious and nervous because I was like, well, fuck, what if I get 20 minutes in? I'm like, well, that's it.
Yeah.
See ya.
I was a little nervous too,
20
but
minutes is
I
20
usually
minutes.
like once I get started, I can go.
Yeah. So
I told you, once I get started, I can go.
No, that's great. I'll put it in the show notes, but show notes. God. What's your Instagram? Or is there's like so many eyes in it?
It is. There's like a lot of eyes. It's Brianna, so it's BR 3 I's ANNANA.
I'll put it in the bio thing, or the notes or whatever, and then we'll get together some like a couple links, obviously the Paragon stuff and whatnot. Yeah, cool.
Well, sounds good. I gotta
coming. Yeah. What do you
go lift?
Yeah.
No.
Sick. Cool. Yeah.
I was trying not to work today, but I think I'm gonna end up having to like do a little bit of work.
Cool. Yeah. Everyone go follow her. She's cool.
I'm kind of cool. A little bit.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right.
Too bad nobody got that. The end.
Metal horns. We were throwing up metal horns.
Cute.
Yeah.